cannot be the only one who started this. Like, if you need to mail a letter to somebody, why don't you put their address as the return address? Don't put a stamp on the envelope. If something's wrong with it, it's going to get mailed back to the return address, right? Brilliant. What the hell do I know? What am I talking about here? Anyway, it's the Morning Scam Show with CJ Scams and TAGOW. Wake up, each and every one. Here we go. Let's mess with some criminals. Jesus Christ, enough of this nonsense. Let's get into it.
Go ahead, please. Are we really doing this again? Did you not learn from last week? You cannot block us. Why do you pick up the phone and don't say anything? I could just reset it and call you right back. And back, and back, and back. Go ahead, please. I guess that's the end of that conversation.
Thank you for calling support. How can I help you today?
Hey, I was wondering, I woke up this morning and there's a gang of woodpeckers out there just looking at me. Can we do anything about these guys?
Sorry?
I woke up a little while ago and I look out my window and there's about 100 woodpeckers. They're like a gang of woodpeckers. They're these awful, perverted woodpeckers and they just keep looking at me. I'm afraid to even get outside under the covers. Can you help me?
What you want? What you want?
I want you guys to come to my apartment and get a scaffold or a ladder or something and just clear out these woodpeckers. They're perverted birds, sir. I'm shy and these birds just keep looking at me. They're lurking. Do I have the right number? Can you help me? Sir? Fuck you. Tried to be nice.
Thank you for calling. How may I help you today?
Hey, forget about the $100. Can I borrow $50? Do you mind? Do you have $50 you can send me? Go ahead, please.
Definitely, we can send you. So, may I know, what is the problem, sir? Tell me what is the problem.
I want $50 from you if you have it. I could use it. I want green money, American money, not rupees, American money. Can you send it to New York for me, please?
Yes, sir. Then
I'll even tell you how to do it for free. Don't put a stamp on the envelope. Put my address as the return address. Then put it in the mailbox. The mailman says, oh, there's no stamp on it. He'll send it to the return address, which is my address. Do you follow me?
Thank you for calling support. This is Davis Brown. How can I assist you?
Listen, I got a complaint here. I ordered about, 3 dozen Georgia peaches, but why when they ship them to me does the box say they're from Dayton, Ohio? Dayton doesn't make peaches. There's hackers in Dayton. Those are the people that hack into your computer and order iPhones and stuff like that. I want my Georgia peaches, goddammit. Can you help me? They go good with the wine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We can help
you. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Can you tell
me
your first and last name? Can you tell me?
Yeah, my name's Dean Michael Myers. Dean Michael Myers. I used to take a glass of water every day, but then I upgraded to I found Thunderbird wine. Do you ever hear that? It's the cheapest wine, and I buy it and I sit on the bench and I like to pet the ducks. But then I saw a movie and the guy was eating peaches and wine, and I thought maybe they go good together, kind of like lamb and tuna fish. And so I ordered on Amazon 3 dozen Georgia peaches, and when they shipped me the crate, it had big letters along the side that said, made in Dayton, Ohio. I know what happens in Dayton, Ohio. There's criminals there. Those are the people that you see on the internet that always hack into people's computer. I always see the Amazon calls. When Amazon calls and tries to hook up to your computer and take all your money, they always say there's hackers on your computer from Dayton, Ohio. I don't need this in my life, sir. All I want is my peaches, goddammit. Go ahead, please.
Okay, sir. Don't worry about that. Your order will be shipped by tomorrow. But for that, first we need to verify you. And can you tell me who calls you from Amazon and said that you need to and you made purchase an iPhone 12?
There's some robocalls out there. We got to talk about that too. I didn't order an iPhone. I ordered Georgia peaches, but I already got those peaches, but they had Dayton, Ohio written in big letters on the side of the box. Why would they do that, sir? If they want to scam me, they need to be more crafty. I mean, cross it out and write Georgia on the side or something. I want Georgia peaches. They're supposed to be the best. I want to suck on those peaches when I drink my wine. Go ahead, please.
Okay, sir. What we can do, sir, we can verify you that you are the legit holder of your Amazon account, and I promise you, sir, you will get your peaches, your Georgia peaches by tomorrow, okay? By tomorrow morning. But for that,
Oh, you can ship
you
them to
need
me
to
that
help
fast?
me so that I can verify your, yes, because we need
Thank
to
you.
verify the document of our,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
So can you
Yep.
tell me can you tell me which smartphone you are using right now?
Oh, no, that's exactly what the criminals in India do. They want to hook up to your phone and steal your money. It shouldn't matter to you what phone I use. Nobody at Amazon would ever ask that question. You can't even read me the first 2 sentences of the handbook. You're a fucking criminal. Oh, my God. I thought I was calling Amazon. I'm calling a criminal in India. Somebody who hurts innocent people for their living. How dare you, sir?
Sir,
You're a scumbag.
we don't
Yes.
scam people, okay? We don't
Yes,
scam.
you do. Not today you don't, because you're getting flooded, bitch.
Sir,
We're calling you again and
you
again
called
and
us.
again with nonsense about goats and rupees and chuthias and peaches. You're a fucking idiot for being on the phone with me this long. There you go.
Go this side, Lisa. What can I help you?
Oh my God, are you a criminal? Like, you carry a gun? Do people, like, do they fear you?
No, I'm sorry.
Are you like the top criminal
No.
out over there? Oh, okay. You're very scary sounding to me. Scare me.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the PayPal Secure Lake Services. What can I help you?
Well, because I know you're not PayPal and you're pretending to be PayPal and you're a criminal, I thought maybe like you carry a gun and like people know not to mess with you.
Sir, well, your call has been landed to the PayPal customer services. If you have any query, you can let me know. Otherwise, you understand we have other customers which we need to attend.
No, I understand that. You have other victims. You don't work for PayPal. I have the handbook right here. You couldn't read me the first sentence of the handbook. So I know you're a criminal. It's okay. I'm just...
Thank you for calling in support. My name is Kevin. How may I help today?
Kevin, are you a criminal? Like, do you carry a gun? Like, do you drive like a dark rickshaw
No,
with
sir.
like tinted windows? You're a criminal. Like, you stole all that lady's money. We were watching you. I'm scared. Like, are you going to shoot me?
Who took
The people that
money?
pretend to work at PayPal, like in your little call center there. Like, they're not really PayPal employees.
Sir, exactly. Please mind your language. Who took money?
Well, I didn't say anything bad, so I don't know what you mean, mind my language. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you're a criminal. You don't work for this company. You're a criminal.
Thank you for calling support. My name is Sean. How can I help you?
Sean, you're different. I got a lot of Kevins and Michaels today, but no Seans. Like, that's a good name. Are you a criminal? Like, do you carry a gun? Or like a bayonet? Or like nunchucks?
Yeah, I carry
Like, do you have...
a gun which I'm gonna put in your ass. I'm gonna
Yeah, but
put
you
that
won't.
gun in your ass and
The problem
blow
is you're
your
not a
ass.
good criminal. You're not a
You
good
son of a
criminal.
bitch.
You'll never make it to America. You're too poor. You're not even a good criminal.
Yeah.
How many times have I gotten
I'll
through?
blow
Little
your
old
ass
me.
in the air with that gun. You son of
I
a
get
bitch.
through to you all day long. You're so mad. You shouldn't be this mad. Oh, you're still there?
For calling support, you're talking with James. How may I help you?
James, you sound like you're upset. Are you getting flooded with nonsense? Like, when's the last time you had a victim? Like a real victim?
No, well, you seem to be upset.
No, I'm good. I mean, I know we're wasting your time, so I'm
You're
happy.
not good.
I'm happier than a Gandu with a bag of dicks right now. I don't know. I'm happier than a Gandu with a bunch of goats. I'm happy. You're not hurting anybody today.
Thank you for calling support. My name is Alice. How may I help you?
Hey, Alice, I'm trying to get a read on things. What was life like for you before you started scamming people? Like, were you in the brothel? Were you like a popular,
Do you
like
think I'm
Bundy?
going to answer you this fucking question, you asshole?
I mean, you're scamming people. Why wouldn't you? Go ahead, please.
Thank you for calling.
Messing with criminals in the morning is always fun. Hey, we got Scammer Jammer today stopping by. Let's get into it. Let's just mess with a few more criminals, and then we will talk with Scammer Jammer. It's been a while since they've been here. Let's see what these guys are up to. Always a pleasure to talk with these guys. Let's check them out. You're tuned in to the Morning Scam Show.
Are you still here?
Oh shit! I had you in my pocket. I thought you hung up on me. I got a little Indian guy in my pocket chirping, creeping me out. What do you want now? What do you want now? You ready to tell me some truth? You ready to tell me the facts? Go ahead, please. I'm not fucking around here. Tell me what you do and why you do it. Let's start with that.
Thanks for calling Amazon. How may I help you today?
Hey, I don't know what happened. We just got disconnected. This is Dean Michael Myers. I'm calling again from Nashville, North Dakota. Can somebody help me? Isn't this Amazon?
Yeah, it is Amazon customer support. How can I help you today?
Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on in the town of Nashville, North Dakota. There must be like a chocolate factory or something. I saw like at least 50 midgets today. I mean, I don't want to discriminate, but it's kind of freaking me out. Like, I don't know, there's either a chocolate factory or a porno convention or something's going on in this town of Nashville, North Dakota. Can you look into your computer and see what's going on?
What happened exactly, sir? Can you just explain me a bit what kind of the problem you are facing?
Oh, yes, sir. I was at Martha's drugstore. I was just picking up my daily medication because I run out of it. I'm only supposed to take one pill because I'm kind of, the doctor says I have some kind of mental illness. So I'm supposed to only take one pill a day, but I take about 30 a day.
Mm-hmm.
And only 30 come in a bottle. So then I got to go back to the Martha's drugstore and get another 30. And I was in the drugstore, and I got bum rushed by like 50 little people. Now, you can say what you want about little people or midgets. They don't like to be called midgets, though. But if they catch you, they will fuck up your shin, you know? Can you imagine 50 people just kicking your shin? And they got legs of steel, those little guys. I don't know what's going on. So then I went off to the pizza place. I figured it's noon. I'll get a piece of pizza. I had to wait for about 3 hours. This guy wants to serve every single midget that walks in. They all want to eat pizza.
Sir,
are you following me?
Which company you are looking for? Which company?
Your company. I need you to help me. You're smart, right?
What?
You need to help me. Get rid of some of these people. There's too many people in this town. I don't care. So, all right, there's 50 midgets, right? That equals 25 regular-sized people. Too many people in this little town, sir.
I would like to know which company you are looking for.
Looking for you, sir. Yes, you can help me, right? You can come with like a... You know what? If you come here with like a great big, like a fire hose, you might be able to scare some of these people off. I mean, I don't know. We might need them, though. If they open a chocolate factory, who's going to work at the chocolate factory? I'm calling you. Are you listening to me? Are you writing this stuff down? I need your help. How come you're not writing stuff down? Do you have a piece of pen and paper?
Whom you are looking for? Whom you are looking for?
I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. You're the real culprit.
Which number you dialed?
I'm dialing your number. Yes, Dean. This is Dean Michael Myers. Dean Michael Myers from Nashville, North Dakota, I think I said. Yes. Can you help me move some of these people out? There's way too many people in this town. It's a very small town, sir. We don't need a chocolate factory, and we definitely don't need 50 midgets in this town. Help me, please. Are you there?
Thank you for calling Auto Parts. My name is Shirley. How can I help you?
Hey, Shelly. Listen, what's your measurements? What are your measurements?
What's your measurement?
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please.
There, you're getting better. Go ahead, please.
There you get better. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead,
I'm a
please.
filthy rundy. I'm a filthy rundy.
I'm not talking to Randy. I'm talking to Randy.
I steal from innocent people.
I still run of people.
You're better than a bird. Can I buy you? I could probably buy you with what's in my pocket. I was going to buy cigarettes, but fuck this. I'll buy a Rundy. Hey, you sound like a parrot.
Hey, you Randy.
Say, give me gift cards. Give me gift cards. Give me gift cards.
Give me gift cards. Give me gift cards.
Oh. You got spunk, Rundy. I'll give you that. Yep.
You spunk, Rundy.
Do you want to be in a porno? I guess not.
We're back. It's the Morning Scam Show with CJ Scams and TAGOW. We got Scammer Jammer with us today. Let's go. Good morning, each and everyone. It's the Morning Scam Show. Scammer Jammer in the house.
Good morning,
What's up,
everybody.
Chester?
Yeah, all good here in the mother country. How is it with you?
It's cold and snowy as always.
Oh no, we don't have snow here. It's against the law. If we have snow, it brings the whole country to a halt. We might get a quarter of an inch, and that's a major national disaster.
It's like down south, they get like a millimeter of snow and they shut down the state for like the whole winter.
Yes, it's something like that, but it's only lasts a day. But trains, buses, planes, nothing runs. Just grind to a halt. Yeah, I'm going to have to move to Florida, I think. I think that's where all the best people are at the moment.
I've heard differently on that one, and I know they have alligators. I mean, no offense on anyone who's from Florida, but you got to be careful there. There's
Very
alligators,
true.
crocodiles, and it's humid.
Yeah, it's all the things that they dump in the lakes after they get rid of their pets, as we heard from Harlequin.
Yeah, she would have a field day there.
Yeah, it's so good to be back. We obviously got the memo from CJ that she said she was going on a business conference, but I found the memo in the bin that she's actually gone to a naked scrapbooking conference in Hawaii.
Yep.
You know, I heard about those. I was gonna, I actually was gonna show up there, but my Vitality shipment was late, and I'm a little shy right now. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I can
eventually
understand that.
I'll meet up with her there.
Yeah, but at least have you seen the person that she's employed? CJ's employed to push all the buttons. She's a hot babe.
No, I have not. But it's I would tune into this stream just to hear you say she's a hot babe in your accent there. That was brilliant, mate.
No problems. Yeah, she's. Yeah, you need to go down to the technical office. Yeah, she's smoking.
Yeah, y'all, I am here. I am under the weather, so that's why Chester is filling in for me, because it hurts to talk. So, but I am here with y'all today, so thank you, Chester, for filling in for me.
It makes sense too. Everything happens for a reason. I mean, Chester Drawers is here, and it's our 20th show, if I'm not mistaken. And he was here on day one, so it's kind of like our 20th stream anniversary. And that we also have Scammer Jammer coming in, and they were here on day two when we were just starting out. And people said, "Oh, they're so small," and they wouldn't do our show. But you know what? Chester was there, and so was Scammer Jammer on day one. So, so it's good that you both are here today.
Yep, thank you. And can I assure all our listeners, especially behind the bars, that this isn't a soundboard. It's just, unfortunately, my voice changer is stuck in my throat. I've managed to get it switched off from Spanish, so I'm now speaking English. But as B Hunderbars knows, this isn't my real voice. I have an American accent. It's just a voice changer stuck in my throat.
I still like you.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, no matter what you sound like.
Yeah, the same rubbish still comes out.
And oh my God, speaking of behind the bars, I mean, her call yesterday on the flood was so amazing. I hope she puts that on her channel. I think she has like 39 subs right now, and she has got a small channel. But people need to sub to her channel and just listen to what she does. It's amazing. I mean, I was impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone is out there listening, please support each and every one of us. We all need it. CJ, Take, everyone that comes on here.
Well, I appreciate that. Every time we promote me, I end up losing 10 subs. So I'll just play on.
Don't promote CJ. Sorry, not CJ. Take. Don't subscribe. In fact, unsubscribe. That way he'll get 10 subs back.
Right. It's not about me in the morning show. We're here to help other people. And hey, absolutely. And that's why I keep posting this guy's link, and I did comment on one of his videos. I've been a big fan of Scam the Scammers since before I even really knew what scam baiting was. And this guy's so funny, and he posts and then he goes away. And I think he's been out for like 5 years, but hopefully he'll come on. I left him a nice comment, and he did respond. So I've always been a fan of that guy. I like his humor. He's funny. He messes with these criminals.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people need to understand who Scam the Scammers are.
Yeah, indeed. So
whether he comes on our show or not, I still think people need to just go be entertained by this young guy. He's funny.
Yeah, and just looking in chat, there's some extreme things that people do just to get off work to listen to the morning show. Aussie boy, good day to you, mate. Sliced his finger off just so that he could get the day off work.
Who did that?
Aussie boy.
Are you sure it was to come on here, or is that just another day in his life?
Who knows with him? You know, he sent his daughter Harley out to a convenience store to buy popsicles, I think, just to get the sticks to make a splint. It's all homeopathic remedies down under. He super glued it himself. Attached 2 wooden popsicle sticks and used duct tape to attach it all together.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so some very extreme and loyal listeners and subscribers to the show too. Thank you to each and every one.
Yes, and then I just noted Candy Girl is here. We had her on the show when we were just starting out as well. So it's we didn't even really promote this as our 20th episode, and we got all our old friends coming back. So it's awesome to see everyone. I was going to have a picture of a kangaroo. I forgot who sent it, Raz maybe or Mary. Somebody's babysitting a kangaroo, and they sending me pictures, and they said I could use them, and I just need to crop it and show you this awesome kangaroo. They can be tamed. They make awesome pets. I think they're getting a bad rap over there.
Well, there's what is it? 45 million of them massing on the shores, ready for the invasion. I'm not too sure.
They all need homes.
Hey, can y'all hear me on
that's
the
what
stream?
Australia's for.
I don't think they can hear me, but can y'all hear me on the stream?
I don't think Australia will mind if we take half of the kangaroos and put them in India. Because I hear that India, it's not so crowded there. There's not enough people there. There's lots of room. So I figure we'll put half the kangaroo population in that country.
Yeah, certainly.
Everybody went.
When I did that news report with the storm, there were thousands of kangaroos just blown up and just dumped all over the place. It was chaos with the rickshaw traffic and the tuk-tuks. It was kangaroo. Oh, it's carnage.
What up, Dark? So when are we going to see a new Chester video?
Yeah, I lost a little bit of my mojo when I got hit by the. Fortunately, it wasn't the Rona, but I had a really, really bad cold or flu. Sort of just drifted. It cleared up, and then it just sort of came back again. So I'm just trying to get my energy back. So hopefully very, very soon. And I've got some projects for the Special Roving Reporter. They'll be coming out soon as well.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was the first time in a long time where I actually called a bunch of criminals with all my friends on the flood, and we had a month off, so these bastards had a break from my nonsense, and I know that you were over there covering the convention that they were having about scam baiting.
Yep.
So I'm kind of just curious to hear what you came up with and what they're saying about us.
Yep, it was definitely very interesting. I managed to secrete myself into the meeting, and I did a few interviews with some of the people, and that will be a special roving reporters video coming out very, very soon.
Hello, how to delete, Lucifer, Sven. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So, CJ, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, we have Scammer Jammer coming on today. Do you know what time they're stopping by?
I just messaged them to see if they would be ready soon.
Okay.
So I'm waiting to hear back. Yeah, they're ready. And I have a clip I could play, so maybe in about 5 minutes we could play the clip and bring them on.
Oh yeah, that's cool. We got time. I just wanted to make sure people don't want to hear me all day, and you're sick, and I mean, and I don't. They'll listen to Chester with that accent all day long. I just didn't want to put you on the spot like that because it was nice of you to come here on short notice because CJ's not feeling so well, and
not a problem.
Someone needs to keep me under control. Otherwise, I'll just talk all day, and everybody will leave the chat.
No. Well, we're up to 51 watching,
I'm
and
telling you,
24
I know.
thumbs up. So
It's the morning time too. So to have what's up, Dinky? The morning time to have 50 people. I mean, I would be happy with 20 or 30, but 51 people is good. So we're doing something. We're not boring everyone.
I think they're just here for Scammer Jammer. Sorry to disappoint y'all.
What's that?
So sorry to disappoint y'all, but I just think they're here for a Scammer Jammer, not for y'all.
Well, whatever it takes,
Who's this Scammer Jammer? Never heard of them.
Do yourself a favor. And as I've sent links on Instagram to 30 different people with the name of Mike Tyson. So one of them will catch on eventually and contact us, and hopefully we'll be interviewing Mike Tyson in the near future.
Their lawyers.
Yeah, well, or they're not really Mike Tyson, and it's just some person messing around. I don't know. You can only try, That's all I can do.
Good morning also to Mr. Dangly Balls. Congratulations on your HMRC video the other day. I mean, it was epic. Well done, you. And, bless you.
Sorry.
And to the rest of us Brits.
Yeah, where's Pecan Head?
Yeah, he's probably sleeping. That poor guy, right?
I thought he didn't sleep.
Well, it catches up. I fell asleep last night early, and I woke up at 4:30. So, and I didn't sleep for like normal sleep for a good time, and I just crashed. So maybe that's what happened to him.
Yeah, and if anyone has any spare AnyDesk logins, Sven would love to hear from you.
I'm sure you would.
So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
so
go ahead.
how's your weekend? Now you got your car fixed. You got the warning light taken off. The one with the nut behind the wheel not working. So are you mobile now?
Yeah, I mean, after $1,100, I do have brakes and an alternator, but the lights are still on, and now they say that, well, that's a different problem. And I said, well, that's the whole reason I was bringing it into your shop in the first place. It's because I was nervous that all those lights meant I needed an alternator. So who knows? It's fine as far as driving it, but it's lit up like a Christmas tree. So yeah, I'm nervous, but thank you for asking.
That's okay. It's the worst warning light it comes on is when the nut behind the wheel goes.
Yeah, I don't want to see that one.
No. So you need to get some blinker fluid as well. Maybe that will help you.
I was gonna, but the auto parts people have blocked all of my phone numbers. So I don't know where to get a good price.
Okay.
What's that?
We'll have to look on the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, Take, can you tell them all what happened last stream with Pierogi?
Oh, wasn't it?
In case anyone missed it.
What happened with him?
Like that he was on.
Yeah, what?
That he
was came on.
Oh yeah, Pierogi was here. Scammer payback style. He might be here right now. We don't know. But it was a nice surprise because we had somebody lined up and there was some miscommunication and it was snowing and he was just in chat and he was nice enough to say, I'll come on. And he talked for, probably a good hour at least. And it was an awesome conversation and that's on CJ's channel. So please check that out. It was just awesome to hear from him. I mean, he's, just doing wonderful things for victims and taking up these idiots' time. And he's been working on his Hindi and he's taken the scam baiting thing so seriously. Quit his job to do it. His videos are great. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Spent time talking with us. Never thought he would, but he did.
Yeah, very insightful as well. I wanted to ask him what color blue he dyed his hair because he's one of my heroes, so I want to do the same. And Harley said she was going to do the hair for me.
You're in good hands right there. You got to definitely post some pictures of that. And I'm just reading the chat a little bit to see if I missed anybody because I want to make sure I said hi to everybody. What's up, Peter? And then, Dan Gleeballs is here, obviously, and he was here in the very early on. And he's just racking up the accounts, still putting out his stuff, is growing. Everybody check out Dan Gleeballs. I'm sure everybody in this chat knows who he is. But if you don't, if you're here from a different community and you don't know about scam baiting, definitely go check out Dan Gleeballs.
Yeah. Good morning, maid in the abyss. Anyway, good morning.
All right, Dinky Toy. Thank you so much for being here. And then I watched a bunch of Scammer Jammer videos in the last 3 weeks, and those guys, I cannot wait to talk to them again. They're always fun.
Yeah. I think everything nowadays on YouTube, all the content creators, the production, everything, it's so slick nowadays.
Yeah, everybody's stepping up their game because it's so competitive. They want to make sure their videos get shown first, I guess. I don't know. I know that it's harder and harder. I probably talked to about 100 criminals yesterday, maybe even more, because I called. I was messing with Amazon before the flood came on, and I called them 43 times. And then I checked Discord, and I think Scambait Nonsense was saying, I've been messing with that number all day. And then somebody said it's still up. And then I called it, and I got through all goddamn night to these people. But very short calls. They weren't tolerating my nonsense. So
Yeah.
it was a tough day, but it was good to waste their time. But, I mean, it was just, I couldn't get the typical having them stay on the phone with me for 5 minutes as I tell them that my dragon is sick or the dinosaur bit my penis. They just weren't having it yesterday. So I kind of turned down myself and was just listening to other people that were having a lot more success. And there were some serious conversations out there, like that behind the bars I was telling you about. It was just amazing.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit.
Raz had a good one too yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a trend at the moment for collaborations, but not necessarily, all together all at once, but a group of people getting together and just smashing a number. I was doing that with Fun Guy Media, with Aussie, DH Products, Harley, quite a few, and maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Anita.
What's that?
I said
Anita's birthday?
Yeah, it was Anita's birthday, so happy birthday to her.
Oh, happy birthday, Anita Knapp.
Yep, happy birthday.
Chester will sing to you.
Well, what I was going to say, will we be able to see the light with all the candles burning?
You asking me?
Yeah, I just wondered, if it's going to be a sort of a glow in the sky with all the candles going. But happy birthday anyway.
Happy birthday. Yep.
Well, shall we play our Scammer Jammer clip and see if we can get them on?
Yeah, let me find this cat. While you're doing that, my cat escaped again. So let's see where he is. But yeah, play that video. Let me find this little bastard.
Okay, we're gonna play. This is Scammer Jammer. We will pin their link above, and then when we come back, they'll be on with us.
Yeah, Anita, say
Sure.
Sorry,
how is your day going?
So it's going good, and I'm very excited for tomorrow. Like, it's Thanksgiving Day, and I'm really looking forward to enjoy tomorrow.
Oh, that's wonderful. Are you going to spend time with your family?
Yeah, family and few close friends.
Oh, that's wonderful. How many people are going to be at your party?
It might be possible that 6 to 7 people.
Oh, that's wonderful. Are you going to eat the ostrich like everyone else?
Wow.
I've got an order to cancel. I didn't order anything.
You want to cancel the order? You didn't order anything, but there's an order. And how do you know that? Did you see that on your Amazon application, or you received an email or a call regarding that?
Yes, I got an email. I didn't even think to check Amazon. I don't know why I called, and I just go on to Amazon, or what do I do?
What does the email says, miss?
It says an iPhone, $14.99. I didn't do that.
Okay. And when did you receive that email?
Don't really check my emails often. Do you want me to look and see when it was sent, or sure what your question is?
Okay.
What information do you need from me to look me up there and just cancel it?
Confirm your name.
It's Alada Angina.
How do you spell your name?
ALOTTAVONGINA. Lada Vangina.
Okay.
Yes, this is Did He Do That? And I got an email about an iPhone. I didn't order no iPhone.
What does it say, sir?
It says there was no order placed for an iPhone. And I didn't order no iPhone. It was for $1,399. I ain't spending $1,399 on a phone.
Oh, no issue, sir. Let me just do one thing. Let me check it out for you, okay?
Okay, great, ma'am.
$1,300?
Yeah, $1,399.
$1,399. Give me a few seconds here. And may I have your registered email address?
Yes, it's Did He Do That? 14@gmail.com.
Yeah, tell me. Okay. And did you got charged for it, sir?
I don't know. I just got the email.
Slogan, I got a message about an iPhone. I didn't order it.
Help me out with your first and the last name, please.
It's Harry. Bananas. You are really riding that mute button. You know, every time you use that mute button, it does this clicky-click thing in my ear. I don't know if any customers did any victims ever tell you that before?
Yes, sir. We do hear it a lot. The reason why we do that to avoid the background noises. That's why.
Just turn around and tell all those people to shut up. You're talking to Harry. Bananas. Very concerned because I've got a message about an iPhone.
Hey y'all, we're back with Scammer Jammer. Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, welcome.
Now, which one's Iron and which one's Hammer again?
So Hammer is me with my character is Dorothy. If you watch our videos, I have gray hair, like Steve Martin. That's my character, Dorothy. Iron, take it away.
Usually you're wearing the glasses. I'm the one usually with the mic.
The meatball guy.
I got the George Pika.
Yeah. You're always getting a meatball sub.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the meatball sub. You know, you got to make sure you get the extra cheese, the extra sauce, the extra meatballs. It's all good.
Yeah. Your grandma's always looking for a toilet, and you're looking for a Subway. Is that fair to say?
Oh, now there's a great deli right down the street. You know, you gotta take a little walk.
A true New Yorker. Yep.
100% accurate description. Dorothy has chronic diarrhea.
So, hey, last time we were talking, you were here. It was like our second show, and we were kind of like brand new. And I mean, you were like the first big name that would give us the time of day to talk with. So, thank you so much. Just wanted to thank you guys before we begin. And it was just an awesome conversation. And I was a fan of you guys before, and you guys had put out something on the community tab on YouTube where you can call in because you were going to do like a radio show, and people could call in and complain and be funny. And any more thought to doing something like that? It kind of just seemed like it went away, unless I missed the video.
Well, first I'll say take a glass of water. Last time, I didn't realize it was only your second show. I thought you'd been seasoned professionals at this, and you made us feel like rock stars. I really felt like a huge rock star. So thanks for that. And Iron is going to tell you all about the phone number and the recordings that people were calling in about.
Wow. So first,
go ahead.
No,
go ahead. I mean, I'm just saying, once we have a studio and you really will get the rock star treatment, we will fly you to New York. You'll be in the green room. You'll have groupies and hors d'oeuvres and tiny sandwiches and hair and makeup. But for now, we got Discord. But anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, what he really is saying is that you have to pay for your own flights, and they provide a bunch of pretzels and banana runts.
Right.
I
banana
demand
run.
only green M&Ms in. That's part of my rider when I come there. Only green ones.
And I want only avian water.
We'll make that happen. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, first off, I just want to say welcome everybody in the chat. We're seeing everybody. So everybody that's saying hi, hello, thank you for hanging out, coming in, listening, watching. Well, sort of watching, but at least listening. And yeah, so when it comes to the radio stations, it was actually a really big endeavor because we made scripts for fake commercials. We had to get the commercials recorded, edited like actual commercials. We have music for music stations. We have like old country, new country, rock, rap, hip hop, pop. We have a bunch of different genres of music and commercials that we're mixing together. And then we're going to go into like news radio. We're going to go into like fake political radio and fake news radio, and also the call-in show. So it's set up very similar. If anyone's ever played Grand Theft Auto, you get in the car and you listen to all the different radio stations. Well, it's very
I love
similar
that.
to that. So we wanted to bring a multitude of radio stations together. So we have pretty much the audio, the music radio stations set to go and done. It's just a huge endeavor with getting everything. And then all of the people that called in and left voicemails, we have them recorded. We're just going to start listening to them, come up with a script. So then we have our radio DJ kind of seem like they're really interacting, and seems like it's like more of a live quote unquote show versus, it's been pre-recorded or something like that. So that's kind of the goal with that. So the talk radio side of things and the commercial aspect is going to take a little bit longer to do, just because we got to come up with that content on top of having the audio plus the commercials. But the audio, the music side of things is pretty much all set to go. So whenever we go in the car, we're gonna have our fake radio stations playing and stuff like that, and then we can just go between back and forth with a lot of different stations.
We do have some really good recordings of people who called in and did leave voicemails. Those will be coming out soon. We did have an active phone number, and I submit lists full of phone numbers to different providers when they're scam numbers and they get shut down. What I did was submit our own number to a service provider, and they shut that number down by accident. So that's my fault. But before that happened, we did have a bunch of really good recordings. And so people who left voicemails who are listening, you will be able to hear yourself soon. We're working on it. We'll, a lot to do, but it will be coming out.
I got kicked out of the store for hula hooping, and I called to make a complaint. So if you hear that one, that one's me.
That sounds amazing. Grand Theft Auto meets carpool karaoke. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah,
that's like the only game I know actually on PS2. I used to play that all the time at work because I used to manage a music store, and I wouldn't get any work done when those things came out. It's just like the most amazing game. I know exactly what they're talking about. And then like you can beat people up and take your money back. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really good game, and that's was kind of the inspiration. And then the whole thing was actually like I said, a really big endeavor because you're coming up with the scripts for it, and within the commercials themselves, we throw through so many Easter eggs of stuff of both things that both Hammer and I enjoy, as well as tributes to other scambaiters or things like that, like the law offices of Vivian A. Rogers or Gull and Bull Financial. So we made little Easter eggs for different baiters, and then just things we enjoy. in the commercials and really made it really funny, and then mixed it all together. And it's funny. We were listening to it the one time and we're like, this actually sounds like a real radio station. It can pass. So I was happy about that.
They're really good. They sound like really good commercials. But Take a Glass of Water, hula hooping, great idea. We'll definitely look for that. That sounds really funny. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
the bastards kicked. Not only did they kick me out of the store because I'm drunk in the middle of the day hula hooping, they took me in the back room and strip searched me, and they fondled my doodle dasher, and then they set me on my way, and they kept my pocket change. So I forgot what exactly I said on your voicemail, but yeah, I was ripping piss that day.
That's hilarious.
So
you got to watch out as well for the the gorilla in budgie smugglers throwing pineapples.
Yeah, it's like I called them, I think 40 something times yesterday, and I kept telling them they need to come arrest the guy on the roof. He's wearing a Speedo and he's got a bow and arrow and he's shooting people. And then of course it was do one thing, go F your mom, and click. But we tried.
Actually, I think I can pull that up if you want to listen to that.
No, I don't like listening to myself.
Yeah, I want to hear
I'd be
it.
embarrassed.
No, I want to hear it, please.
I mean, coming soon. Coming to a stream near you soon. Don't worry. We'll have it out. We'll have it out shortly.
Yeah, part of your investigative work, we were just wondering, CJ and myself, we're trying to get Take's mum phone number. So if you can do anything about that, that would be fantastic.
My mom is listening, Chester, so be careful. So the last time, the other thing that I wanted to just ask, and I couldn't wait to talk to you again to see what was going on. We were talking about getting burned out and, becoming a little darker in some of our baits, where maybe they're not as funny or as entertaining, and we just go right into the rage sometimes. You need to take a step back. The last couple of videos I saw of you guys were kind of exactly like my style, although, you're more entertaining, I think, to watch. I'd rather watch you than me any day. But there was one video where you were just doing it nonstop, giving them funny names. And then there was another video where it started off kind of nonsense, but it went into like more of a serious interview. And I think that was Hammer, asking the scammer, do you feel bad? Or how could you think that you're working? I work, I'm an electrician, you steal. Do you find yourself like your style's changing a little bit because of, you've been dealing with these criminals for so long and it just gets frustrating?
I'm glad you're mentioning this. So for about the past 3 years, I had it's 2 years. I had the unfortunate position, I've said before, of talking to the victims. And then I think we've been Scammer Jammer for over a year and a half now. So yes, what happened to me was I turned angry like the Hulk, where rather than providing entertainment in a funny way and also education, I just was holding a grudge and I was taking it out on the scammers without really completing the scam bait. So people who are always involved with watching us consistently have noticed that we haven't been streaming as much since the new year. There's two reasons for that. I moved, and then Iron is moving, in the process of moving to a different location. So, but it is a good break, and I realized after a couple weeks of reflection, and I read a thread that Kit Boga actually put out a while ago, and he said that he is trying to provide lighthearted education and entertainment, which hopefully we'll be getting back to, which is 100% on me. I had taken a turn to the dark side, but coming up soon, I've taken a few deep breaths, done some self-reflection, and we just want to provide funny education and stop the scammers.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. We've got a question is, how do you two of you find time to work, bait, edit, put up such awesome content, and find numbers in such a short time?
It's a lot of work. A lot of work behind the scenes, honestly.
Yes. Yeah, so I was literally finishing my day job and I would go right over. Fortunately, I was in a position to be able to work from home, but I would literally go from one computer to another computer, and I was putting double shifts, so it was not easy.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, how far apart are you geographically?
We're not far at all right now, but soon we will be for a little while.
Oh no.
Yeah, but we're still going to be able to with the amazement of technology, we're still able to do, the continuation of everything. So still be able to stream together and, make calls and do all that stuff. So
Brilliant.
with
I
technology,
mean,
it's amazing.
yeah, I mean, Take is working on the time zone difference. It totally gets all of us out of sync. I mean, we've got people from Australia, India, UK,
Wales.
Wales. Oh, yeah. Sorry, John. Apologies.
Oh, trust
Yeah.
me, you don't want to upset John. You'll be getting messages for years. So, but both of you work at home, if I'm not mistaken, or one of you do, right?
Yes. Yeah, I work from home.
So that must make it a little easier. I mean, obviously, you still want to do your job. You're at home, but you could take a break here and there, make a call or something, right?
Yeah, the beautiful thing is for me, it's as long as I get the work done that needs to get done, then everything's okay. So, yeah, I can adjust. If I wanted to work in the middle of the night, I could, versus the day. So, there's a lot of leeway there, which helps because then, I'm in full control of my schedule, which means then we can coordinate when we're going to go live. And then, the nice thing is that we can take from the calls that we do and then, edit through those to put out the content for like standalone videos, because not everybody's going to watch live streams. So it's good there. It's just working smarter, not harder, which helps, especially when you're doing so much and, having to be pulled in 4 different directions. So it's also time management is another big thing. Trying to come up with that. And then, I've been running 3 ways north of Sunday right now because of packing up everything, getting ready to move temporarily, and then a real move after that. So,
gotcha.
There's another question to come in. If you get enough funds, will you make scam baiting a full-time job?
Absolutely.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing that we all want to do. And I wish we could all have jobs like CJ. She only works 3 days a year.
Amazing.
Yeah, jet setting to Hawaii, and that's a tough job. But
glamorous.
Yeah, I mean, you're on your way. I mean, you're approaching 3,000 subs. I think the last I checked, you were probably high 2s. So everybody in our chat is definitely sub to you or will sub to you right now, and then hopefully you'll be on your way to being able to do this full time eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would truly be awesome because unfortunately these scammers don't take time off, and
right.
We want to try to spoil them where we can, and then provide the feedback to the entertainment value and the education value all together with standalone videos and all that, so people can understand what's going on, know what's going on, and then be aware. So then they won't fall victim, because that's the whole thing. We always say education awareness is key.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're looking, CJ's pinned the your channel to the to top. So if you haven't subscribed out there, please do so.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for promoting us.
Well, it's the least we can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people don't know. I mean, you talked about the time. I know what it's like just to make a short little video. I mean, sometimes it can take you 5 hours, and I don't know when you made that one video that I watched not too long ago where you were giving the scammers funny names. Did you get hung up on a lot? Like, was there a lot of calls you had to go through that did not make it to YouTube before you got some good content?
Well, one of the nice things that I do when we're calling is when we actually make the call, that's when I record the screen and the audio. So I don't have to go through like an entire stream and like pick it out, which is nice. That helps with the, the cutting of the actual calls itself. So basically when you see the timer start, that's when I start the recording. And then when the timer ends, it's the same thing. So it's almost like I just got in the habit of doing that. So I record everything, which is nice. So when we're piecing together videos like that, which I gotta say, those are hilarious videos, and we throw that in every once in a while, and we'll do that again just to see what they do. But yeah, it's just a matter of okay, this is what I'm going to do today, and kind of piece them together when it comes to the crazy names, and like that was just for the crazy names that we gave them and see what they would do. Which was weird because some of them, with the ridiculous names that we gave them and the way we were kind of portraying, some of those calls on this, it was over 2 days. It was around Thanksgiving, but those couple of calls, some of them would actually like go on with the scam, and some of them were like 20-30 minutes long.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was, what are they going to do when they hear that kind of name? Which, I mean, obviously the language barrier and things is a huge difference. So what we find really funny, they might not understand. It'll go over their head, or they might just be like, "Wait, what's going on? I'm just going to go with the scam anyways." So there was that. But the first time we did that a few months back, it was funnier, or not funnier, but it was they were more apt to realizing that we were using the fake names, and so they were hanging up quicker. So yeah, it was a weird one because, like I said, some of those crazy names, and they were going on for 30 minutes or so.
You Need a Bath Badly was my favorite, I think.
That was my favorite too, and she figured it out after a couple times. She was like, I get it. That edit is 100% Iron. Iron edited that whole thing. I had nothing to do
Nice
with
job,
it. He did a great job. Yep. I have a different problem where I record, if it's a 4.5 hour session, I have a whole bunch of different scammers and I'd have to go back. So he's got a really good system. I tried to do that, but I ended up messing up. But that's a whole really funny edit. And both of them, You Need a Bath Badly was hilarious. And also Anita Refundi. That was a really funny one.
Yep.
So funny.
And did he do
The
that?
badly
That's
part.
from Impractical Jokers. You said, did he do that?
Yeah. Yeah. So some of our names came from Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
And that was an inspiration. And then we got a bunch of names from fans watching and people watching, giving different things in the Discord. So we had a bunch of different, and then we took some of them and kind of just started up coming up with our own as well too. So it was a lot of fun, and it's always good to see how they act.
Yeah.
Like I get you about the language barrier. I mean, there's been times where I'm like, "Hey, do you want to dress all in black and have us a knife fight in the Walmart parking lot?" And then all he hears is Walmart and parking lot, and goes into how many gift cards do I have? And and I just go on with it, but it does happen. You try to rage nonsense, but they only hear certain things because some of these guys really only know English enough to get them through the script. And it just, you spread awareness, and it shows that, I think. It's funny and it's entertaining, but it's also showing us they really only know enough English to scam people out of their money.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Unfortunately. Well, I mean, and that's the whole thing. Like you'll see, we will ask a certain question or say a certain thing, and they pick up on like a keyword or something like that, or they go back to the last line prior to in their scripts. And in that, it kind of shows that they don't really know that well when it comes to, speaking English on the fly. So things like that. That's why always asking questions is another key thing that people should be doing if they're receiving any type of phone call. Because scammers after a while won't put up with it. They'll just go crazy and berserk like you see, especially lately. They've been they've been really salty lately.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So all the baiters that are out there doing what they're doing, it's making an impact, which is good.
Yeah, that's certainly I've noticed that they're certainly getting a lot more triggered very early on. And we have another question for you, if that's okay. It's when you get any, what do you do when you get info from PCH calls? Do you pass that on, or?
I did see that back in the chat, and I do want to answer that question. So we did have a series. It's a Publishers Clearinghouse scammer that is the worst scammer that I've talked to. He was very angry, and just out of, I guess, a little bit of luck, if you go back and watch those, what you don't see is that I was able to find a phone number for a person who was a victim of the scam who did not know that they were a money launderer. They thought it was an 82-year-old woman named Patricia. She thought she was working for Publishers Clearinghouse, and in order to get her prize, she had to cash these checks into her bank account, and the PCH scammer had her login and password and was siphoning money out of the bank account, but he was doing it slowly as not to raise any red flags. This woman had never had over a couple $1,000s in her bank her entire life, and then all of a sudden had over $100,000 in her bank going through her bank account in just a couple months. But the scammer, to not raise any red flags, was siphoning money out of it very slowly. So there was a lot of money left in the account that we were able to get frozen. $43,000 was in the account physically, and they could only go back 3 months. So, but what you don't see behind the scenes is I spent about a week and a half talking to the victim, coordinating with her bank, and then yes, we had a detective go to her house, and the last time I talked to her, the detective was going to be there in about 2 hours, and I just let it go at that. But yes, we do what we can in the United States. The problem is these scammers are overseas. They're this particular Publishers Clearinghouse scammer, I'm not sure where he's operating out of, but most of the scammers, as anyone in the scam baiting community knows, are from India. And people don't understand, if you're in the United States or the UK or, most countries have pretty good law enforcement. Other countries do not, where they're pretty much untouchable or it's corrupt. So we do what we can. We do reconnaissance. I report things. I've got bank accounts shut down. I've had detectives. Mostly what I'm doing is reporting phone numbers and bank accounts when I can.
And most of the PCH scammers, my understanding is that they're out of Kingston, Jamaica. And if you Google the lottery scams or whatever, some of them have been arrested in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. But they're still out there doing it, and I'm sure their police system isn't as is like ours. But my understanding is that most of them are from Jamaica, but they do have mules in the United States, which makes them very dangerous because they will send people to people's houses and things like that. Scumbags.
Yes.
They're the worst.
Yes. The guy that I talked to, I thought that he might have been from Jamaica because I read that too. And I think the second day I talked to him, I said, aren't you afraid that law enforcement are watching you, or, you're on international, just, trying to put at least a little bit of a scare into him. He wasn't afraid at all. I said, well, a Jamaican prison you're not afraid of going to the prison in a Jamaican jail. I don't think that particular scammer was out. I've also heard Cyprus for some reason. They're in Cyprus. Who knows where they are? He told me that he was of Indian descent and his mother was American. So who knows? They're all liars.
Yeah. Right, they're all liars.
That's the beauty of text now. You can be anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. And I mean, I talked to a PCH scammer the other day, and I just assumed he was from Jamaica, and I mentioned places in Jamaica, and then he kind of, and right down to I'm having my jerk chicken in Red Stripe right now for my lunch, and I had an exact place where I was, and he kind of took I thought we were, I guess, becoming believable. And I was like, listen, I know you're scamming. How can I get in on this? I want to be a mule. And then he's like, okay, I'll give you the credit card numbers. And then he disconnected. But that's about as close as I've ever gotten to like really wasting their time. And I usually don't mess with them as much as you guys do. But they're scumbags.
Yeah. Well, have you watched our PCH scammer video? It's not the same
Yes.
guy that you talked to, was it?
No, it's same type of accent though, and they try very hard. This is Michael Peterson. I mean, or whatever names they use. I did see yours, and I think Graham's had a good one out there before she left the YouTube. But yeah, I love watching them.
What was really scary about that guy was that the woman that he was using to launder the money had kept meticulous records. She had a notepad and didn't even, when I called her, didn't ask who I was, didn't ask any questions. I just said, did you get a call from a guy pretending to be from Publishers Clearinghouse? She said, yes. I'm like, has anyone else sent you checks in the mail? She's like, I have a whole list of them. She read, I think there's 10 or 12 different people who sent her checks in the mail. One guy sent 2 different checks for $19,500 twice.
Wow.
Out of the victims, some of them were whopping amounts of money. That was the biggest one. He sent a lot of money. I was able to get in touch with his bank and her bank and have both of those checks frozen. But there were a whole list. The amount of money that he conjured out of people in just a couple months was disgusting and amazing. I couldn't believe that she had these records, but he had over $100,000 in her bank account in just a couple months.
And that's probably one of many that he's manipulating.
Yes, he gave me another person to send money to in a different state who I wasn't able to find any information for. It was just a miracle that I found this woman and she answered the phone when I called her. But once I got her information, because I didn't really understand, he wanted me to send $25,000 to this person. He said, send $25,000 to Patricia. I didn't understand why he wanted, I didn't know if she was in on it or what was happening. So as soon as I hung up with him, I looked up information for this woman, was able to find her. I called, she answered the phone, but I didn't know whether she was a conspirator, a money launderer, or it turned out that he had fooled her and told her that she won Publishers Clearinghouse. And then he got into her bank account, changed her passwords, was able to access it online, was taking money out of her bank online. And she didn't even know that she was a victim. She thought she won. So that's how they're laundering this money, by fooling other victims. And he gave me information from another person in a different state. So they must have these people all over the country that think that they won and they're just using them. They don't know that they're laundering money.
Right. They turn the victims into the scammers. I mean, that's why. I mean, when people talk to them, you think you're talking to just some dumb person, but they really have they can make a psychological impact on the weak and the people that's their wits may not be about them. They live on their dreams. If they're 85, 90 years old, they'll talk to them about what kind of legacy they can leave for their family. It's a sad thing. They get into people's lives, man, and a lot of them, they turn into criminals. And like you said, they don't even know that they're being criminals.
The victim, Patricia, she was a church-going, honest woman. They had her driving to different banks, cashing all these checks at different branches. And once I called her, she could not believe, and she's just the nicest woman, very innocent, would never do anything wrong. As soon as she found out what was happening, we conference called her local police department, had a detective come over. She got a letter from a 3-letter agency that says, if you are cashing these checks in this, they call it a lottery scam, that she got it in the mail. She read the letter to me. You're involved in money laundering. Stop this now. So I don't know what happens after our law enforcement is onto it, but clearly that that scammer, the PCH scammer, we called him a month later, and we have a video that's out that we talked to the same guy a month later, still running the same scam, wasn't scared. He just, once we called him out, he just said, well, come and get me. And no remorse.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, speaking of that kind of attitude, your interview the other day that I watched, one of your newer videos, I think it was, you started off with the bathroom humor and the typical jokes, and that's sometimes the best interviews actually start from that. Is what I've noticed anyway. I'm calling them and saying, "Hey, I need a bunch of people that will help me steal a painting, and I know you're a criminal." And then it starts off like nonsense, but then all of a sudden that turns out to be a serious interview. Where if I called them and said, "Hey, can I interview you? I know you're a scammer," click. They hang right up. So I was very impressed with your interview where you started with the bathroom humor, and then all of a sudden you started debating with him on stealing or working, and he of course has the typical scammer answer, well, I am working a job, I am working 12 hours a day and I make money. And then you're saying, well, you need to provide a service or tangible good, and you were going back and forth. But by the end of the interview, you kind of broke him down a little bit, I thought, and I still think he was a liar, and I'm sure you do too. I mean, you asked him if he had an education, and he has a master's and a bachelor's, or a bachelor's and a master's, or something like that. I think he was just kind of lying, but towards the end, it looked like you were kind of getting to him a little bit. Do you feel like you made like a little bit of an impact, or was he just kind of playing you?
No, deep down inside, you don't have to be an economics major to understand money. There's a lot of different views on money, but when it comes right down to it, we all agree upon the system where I do work, I have a little, piece of paper, a dollar bill, that signifies the amount of work that I did. I then trade that dollar bill to you for a different work that you did to provide me a service. The scammers in their culture, it is a call center where maybe at first when they go in there and they think, yeah, maybe this is a little bit shady, but it is a job. It's kind of, they think of it as, well, I go to a place for this amount of time, I sit at a cubicle, I try to get money, and I'm rewarded for it. But deep down inside, every human being on the planet Earth has a sense of right and wrong, that they know what stealing is. They know that they're getting something for nothing. The thing that I really want to try to reiterate to them is the impact that they really have on people's lives, where people are losing their life savings. If you really look into what happens when someone gets money stolen out of their bank accounts, they have to get new debit cards, new bank accounts. There's all sorts of problems sometimes with their family members. Sometimes they're embarrassed and are afraid to tell people. There's just so many ramifications, and some of the scammers either don't care or aren't aware, but that's what I'm about, is really trying to appeal to what's called their sense of pride as a human.
Yep. Yeah, I thought that was just a great video. And of course, they always say, well, call me back tomorrow and I'll talk to you. And I always say, well, your number's going to go down quicker than your mom at a Rundy convention, or whatever I tell them. I mean, their numbers change all the time, but he wanted to get off the phone with you. I think you were getting to him. As much of a liar as he was and a scumbag, I think you did a great job in that you were at least making him realize or think, or maybe he did, and he was playing us, and he really knows he's a bad person, and just wanted to go on with the part. But I thought by the end of the video he was a little bit more passive than in the beginning.
Agreed. Yep. And thanks for that compliment.
And was that the same interview that you had on Twitch? Because you had more of a serious interview on Twitch not too long ago, right?
I'd have to recall.
Yeah, the one last week we had where the scammer broke down and was giving us information in that.
Yeah, I didn't know if sometimes, because I don't watch Twitch as much, just because my phone buffers a lot. So I try to stay on YouTube as much as I can. But a lot of people, I mean, CJ's on Twitch, so I always try to go into her stream, and that obviously I flood on GF's Twitch. But people were raving about your video where you were interviewing a scammer. And I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I think
Hello?
that was the last. I think that was the last time you were on Twitch, maybe.
Yes, it was. Yep, I recall.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you
And so that was a
find that
totally
guy
different
was
guy.
sincere, or did you question his sincerity?
So I gave him, like, to me, 90% of his lies were 10% true. I don't believe anything that he said.
Right. They lie
But
for a living.
he did call us and leave some voicemails, and my phone system is not working. They updated their app, so I couldn't call him back to find out if he's legitimate or not. So what happens here is that some of the scammers are hardcore scammers. They've been doing it for years. They have no remorse. They don't care. But what they do is they find younger people who are desperate, who need money. The once they sometimes they don't even tell them what they're going to be doing until a couple weeks in, and then they're already there and they're desperate and they need money. And then they start them off real slow and say, well, all you got to do is answer this phone call and you set them up and transfer them to this other person. And then they have a skilled scammer that's the person who steals the money out of their bank accounts and everything. So that's how they get started. And there's three types of people. There's someone who would say, no way, I'm never going to do this, and they leave. There's a person who needs money and is maybe on the edge, and that's who they look for. And then there's the hardcore criminals. So I don't want to deal with the hardcore criminals. I want to talk to the people who, maybe are in a desperate situation, just think, oh, well, I'll just do this now and ignore that they're stealing to try to get money, because you can talk to them. There are, some people who you can get through to. In fact, if you watch Trilogy Media, they have a guy that had a conscience and didn't want to keep being a scammer,
Johnny.
and now he's on their side. Yeah, Johnny, and those are great
Yeah.
videos. So what I was looking to do was try to talk to this last guy the same way and see if we can get him on the good side. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to follow up with him yet.
Yeah,
We'll keep
it's
you
tough.
updated.
I mean, that video that Trilogy has out, and I think Jim Browning was involved a little bit. That was a great video. The production was great, and that guy really flipped on his bosses in the call centers and stuff, and he risked his life to go in there and record. I mean, people should check that out if they haven't seen that yet. And I've tried to get people. There's been people that have said, I'm going to give you some information because they're pissed off at their call center that they previously worked at, and they want to get them, revenge. And they realize what I do, not that I can have any power, but they know that, I can bother them or report them. They gave me some real addresses, some real names, but you never know if they're telling you the truth or not. They could be just want to shut them down, or maybe they're just mad at somebody, so you never know. But in that case, that video was real. That Johnny guy is doing good things right now with his life. So it does happen. It's just very rare.
Yep, sure does. Legit.
Yeah, that's always the case. There's a question that came in a bit earlier, asking about setups, and do you have any recommendations for new scam baiters on software or hardware? That's
a very in-depth subject, and I'm still trying to get all of my stuff right. So there's a lot of resources, I guess. I would be the wrong person to ask. Maybe, Iron, what's your take on this question? Well, either way. So what I would say is protect.
He's having a deep also.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably. So I say this all the time, and I should actually look up the quote from Liam Neeson from what is the movie Taken, where I have a particular set of skills that I've developed over a career. I'm not so tech savvy, so the skills that I have more relate to protecting identity. So I'm not that tech savvy. I'm the wrong person to ask of what setup to use. I kind of just followed along with advice from other people, but what I will say is if you are going to dive into the scam bait community, you want to really do your research and take as many precautions as you possibly can to protect yourself. We have a lot of redundancies where we're using a VPN, for example, so that the scammer can never get any of our information, and a lot of other redundancies. So that's what my advice would to be, is really try to protect your information.
Absolutely.
And you don't want them finding out anything about you.
Yep, and never let anyone onto your computer unless you've got a virtual machine.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
If you're, as I said, CJ is on this naked scrapbooking conference. She's just dialed in. We've got our new technical person that's operating the controls, and she's a hot babe. I'm sure she would love to hear how you push buttons.
Yeah, for sure. It's learning how to run a stream has been quite a challenge sometimes, but practice makes perfect, I guess.
Yeah, sorry, Baba. I was just teasing. We teased CJ about the technical skills, and she learned how to push the mute button a few weeks back, but it took her another week to learn how to turn it back off again.
Well, you're doing much better than I am. Credit where credit is due. Iron takes care of a lot of the technicals. So all of the graphics that you see, all of the, subscribe here, he's running everything behind the scenes because, I don't know how to run a stream. I have a different set of skills. So he takes care of a lot behind the scenes. I do video editing and some other things, but he's really running the whole visual show that you see. In another life, he probably should have been a graphic designer or something. He has a really good eye. So,
well, you guys complement each other. Your skills, and the product that you produce is informative. It's educational. It's entertaining. So. Yeah, what works for you, and it's the same to the initial question. Whatever works best for you, keep at it.
Awesome, and take a glass of water. That's a really good idea of calling the scammers and pretending you want to be involved with the scam or try to do some kind of nefarious business. I never thought of that, Tech. I hope that I can steal that idea from you and try to use that on the next stream or next call I do. Would you be?
Go ahead, please.
It's a great idea. That's genius. I've been looking for new ideas, and maybe I can try to hustle them into thinking that I'm on their side. Great idea.
Your Dorothy character there will definitely has a better chance, I think. An older lady.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I think you'd probably make great videos on it, and you'd probably turn them in. And yeah, I love it. I think you guys should run with it if you haven't already.
Definitely, with your permission, I'm definitely going to try that tech. That's
I think other people have done it, so I don't want to take credit. It's not copyrighted or anything. So
first I've heard of it, so from now on, the credit goes to you. Good one. That's a really good
well,
one.
thank you so much. Yeah, that's an honor. But what do you guys have planned coming up? I mean, you're gonna obviously any time frame on when that radio thing will be ready, or are you gonna just kind of focus on your personal life and moving for a while? Because I'm dying to hear when you get that all out and get back to like I think. Over the summer, I was watching you guys. You were on like a 30-hour bait or something like that, and that was one of the best videos ever. And it was like almost every other day or every week, I would be on my phone and I would be in chat with Scam Bait Nonsense and CJ Scams, and it was like Scammer Jammers on. We got to see what happens today. And it was like you were getting pulled over by the police, and the police wanted to talk to the scammer wanted to talk to the policeman. So. It sounds like you're getting back into those longer baits once you get your radio thing all kind of recorded. Is that fair to say, or?
That's a question for Iron.
Yeah, pretty much right now, the main focus is both of us. We're moving, and Hammer's settled in, and now I'm moving, but Hammer moved, what was it, 2 inches to the left, and I'm moving like 2,000 inches to the right. So it's a much bigger.
That's a shame that y'all won't be in the same place anymore.
Yeah.
So nothing's going to change because I have only physically seen Iron one time in the past 2 years. We don't live far away from each other, but due to technology, we don't. In fact, it probably works out better that we're not physically in the same space. It's working out well, so nothing's going to change.
Yeah,
right now it works well because of the voices with the microphone. That's got to go through processing. So if, say, I'm speaking and it picks up on Hammer's mic, then it's going to sound off and weird. So having the separation with like the voices and stuff like that does work. But sometimes there's things that we can do in our own inflections and things that can kind of put it together. But yeah, when it comes down to it, it works well this way too, and we're able to have a lot of fun, like you alluded to in that call. That was one of the craziest calls that we had with everything going on, and they just kept going with it over and over and over, and it's like, you just don't get it yet, do you? So we're gonna keep messing with you.
Yeah, the Publishers Clearinghouse scammer was the angriest scammer that we've talked to, but those ones you're talking about were the most gullible scammers that we talked to, and I could not believe we got pulled over twice. And then the hazmat team was there. Dorothy, had diarrhea in Rite Aid and in Walmart, and and the police confiscated the gift cards. We had to go to the police station, and they still went all in on it. The most ridiculous. So go watch the Publishers Clearinghouse to see the angry scammer. But those gullible scammers, definitely watch those if you want just the hilarious to get a good kick out of it.
I mean,
go back to that video. I'm sorry to cut you off real quick, just real quick before I forget, because I do forget. I have short-term memory. That video. I mean, they're gullible, but they're greedy. They put up with Dorothy, with you guys having diarrhea 3 different places and getting pulled over and gift cards getting locked up at the police station and all that. And it's entertainment. But for somebody who doesn't really know that these scams exist, it's a perfect way to teach what goes on and how these people will put up with all this nonsense, thinking that there's just a gift card in it. I mean, I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
That's an amazing point of how far they'll go, because the scammer actually talks to Officer Stadenko, and Officer Stadenko says, "Are you a scammer? Are you a criminal?" "Oh, no, I'm relative." And they think that they're talking to a police officer. So there's no limit to the depth that they'll go to try to get those gift cards. It's really scary, honestly.
Yeah, the longer it goes, the more desperate that they get to get any kind of return.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and then one of the worst things that I've heard too was when we were on a call one time, and one of us acted as the manager of the store, and they wanted to talk to the manager, or the manager wanted to talk to the scammer on the phone, and he said, "Don't worry about it. We'll just have them go to a different store and get them." So again, it just shows you the depths that they'll go, both in desperation and in greed.
Yeah. Now, just one serious question from the chat, because I know Pecan Head just came and he was going to ask this question. Are you guys fans of the Beatles?
In a previous life, I was extremely into all sorts of music. I've heard almost every Beatles song. Every once in a while, about a year ago, a song came on that was the Beatles I never heard before, but it's few and far between. Yes, I'm a fan of the Beatles.
There you go, Pecan Head. All right, enough of that. Let's get back to scam baiting.
You heard it here first on WSCAM radio. Yeah, what I was going to say very quickly, talking about distances, we're all separated by distance, but Take unfortunately has restraining orders, and he can't travel outside of his apartment.
Goddamn Britney Spears. She caused all these problems. Yeah. I'll get there though, but you can at least. I mean, nobody wants to reveal locations, but so Iron and Hammer though. When you say 2,000, what was your term? 2,000 inches. I mean, are you still going to be in a place where we measure distance by miles and not kilometers?
I cannot disclose the information.
You can't expose your country even. Okay. Top secret stuff here.
We don't even know what country he lives in.
Right. Yeah.
We might find him if we know what country he lives in.
Right. Well, I mean, since I've made all these wonderful friendships with people from Australia and England and Wales and what's the other faraway place? Texas. I've learned that America is only one of 3 places in the world that use a system that is not used everywhere else.
Yeah,
right.
Imperial. The rest of the working world mostly uses metric. We are on the imperial system.
Right. So we always say, oh, they're driving on the wrong side of the road and things like that, but they're the right ones. we got it wrong, I think.
So we should revise our statement, Hammer. We should say 2 centimeters to the left and then 1,000 meters to the right.
Yeah, right, there you go.
Right. Cool.
So behind the scenes, I like to learn everything I possibly can about every subject. I'm kind of a huge dork. What happened on the International Space Station is because most of the international scientists use metric, and one country used imperial, their measurements were wrong. So it caused a lot of problems. You can imagine if you're part of an international scientific community, but you're using a measurement system that nobody else uses and things aren't adding up and you're trying to navigate space, cause a lot of problems for the International Space Station.
Yeah, and I think actually I did learn something from one of your videos not too long ago. You were talking about somebody that made the rover that was on Mars. Wasn't that your video?
That was me from India for sure.
Yeah. So I do learn. I learn important things from scam baiting videos, not just about scammers and the lifestyle, but about science and space and everything. Cool. So when's your next video going to drop?
In 40 something minutes. 10 o'clock.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
awesome.
so that
At 10
Eastern Standard
o'clock.
Time, or that is 7 a.m. Pacific Time, and somewhere else in the world, I'm not sure, but it's in about 48 minutes or so, or 42 minutes.
And do you guys stream live all the time? Because I noticed you did a live stream not too long ago, but I didn't check to see if you do it every single day because I miss everything. Or do you on Twitch sometimes and YouTube? Like, do you have a set schedule for people to know?
Currently we don't, only because with everything going on, all the craziness, we've kind of stepped back from the streaming and had to focus on other things, because streaming does take a bit of time. You're doing it for a few hours. We were doing like 2-3 streams a week. We're probably going to try to get back to something similar to that in the future, but right now, as the move is going and the transition and all that, that does take precedent priority. So we're still going to have our normal videos that are going to go up every week. We do that on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, usually around the same time. Usually also when we get the bigger calls, then we'll do premieres, because that's where you have the multi-part and everybody can hang out. So if people have questions or anything like that, you can kind of do it within that premiere itself. But when it comes to the streaming, we'll be streaming more, and we'll have more of a set schedule once everything settles down, calms down, and is good once that does happen.
Good, cool, thank you. Awesome. And before we wrap it up, just so in the beginning of the video of this stream, once we upload it, when CJ uploads it, just watch the end of the first 10 minutes, just because somebody worked, they were so nice to me, and they gave me a picture that it says special guest scammer jammer. So we let that play a little bit in the morning, because you probably weren't up yet. But you just need to see what all these people, they were very excited that we were having you guys on. So I can't say thank you enough. I mean, our 20th stream, we have Scammer Jammer returning. I mean, it's good. Life is good when Scammer Jammer's a regular guest.
Yeah, and Pierogi was on our last stream if y'all missed that one.
Oh yeah, nice. That's awesome.
Who was
Yeah,
on
we're
there?
getting some big names. I mean, it's
Pierogi, Scammer Payback. He was on our last stream.
Really?
Yeah, he's
Yep.
a nice fella.
Amazing. Yeah,
he was nice to talk with.
He is very skilled, and out of all there's a lot of different scam baiters. He is really trying to really take it more seriously, and he's probably more angry with them than I am, and I'm pretty angry. But good for him. He does some really good work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about doing it full time, and I mean, this is somebody who, got into it a while back, would entertain, did the voice changer and the old man, and then all of a sudden started to, put out videos of locations and learning Hindi, quit his job. So it's definitely we need more people that can go full time and dedicate themselves to this cause, because the police and the government just aren't doing it. So it's people like you guys, like Scammer Payback, like CJ, like even myself, who calls with nonsense to waste our time. I mean, we need to just make sure we can do it as much as we can. And I get that real life does happen, but it makes me sick that vulnerable people are falling, and not even just vulnerable people. It could be young college people that just move into an apartment that Google Amazon Prime. I mean, there's a lot of scams out there, man. Nobody wants to work anymore.
Yeah.
That's human. That's what I tell people, and maybe this should be a really good point. If you're a human being, nobody wants to. I don't want to say work, because human nature is wanting things for the least amount of effort. The difference is, what are you willing to do to get the things that you want in the least amount of effort? I'm not willing to hurt or damage another person to get the things that I probably don't even need. Other people are ruthless and willing to hurt anybody that they can to get what they want. And in the end, it's not going to make them their life fulfilled anyway. But we're all human nature. All humans are the same. We all want everything quickly, easier, faster. The problem is the scammers are toxic, and they don't care who they're hurting. And that's what we're at least trying to. Every scammer that I talk to, I just at least want to try to get them to think about their lives.
Car payments, sir. That's what he said to you. I have a car installment. And I mean, your answer is like, okay, so because you have to pay your car, it makes it okay for you to take my work away from me.
That's right.
So
why do I have to pay for your car?
I mean, it's brilliant, and I ask them that all the time. It's like, okay, I've been poor in my life. That doesn't, and I have bills. Doesn't give me the right to go steal an old lady's pocketbook because she's defenseless. I mean, it's just sickening. So, yeah, I mean, we've already talked about all that, but just keep doing what you're doing, please, please, please. I mean, we need you.
Yeah. There's another comment in chat from B for Dorothy. It's try selling them better scam baiting tips.
What's that?
What?
I didn't get the question.
Yeah. One of the comments in chat from B was similar to Take's offering services, is that you try and sell them how to scam better, correct them all the time.
Yeah, but I'd be scared. I'd be teaching them how to scam, which I don't want to do.
Yeah, but not the way B does it.
Yeah.
That's a fine line that I try to walk. There's a lot of things that I know. For example, the Publishers Clearinghouse scammer. I know exactly how they're looking for their victims. I know how they find them. and they're using an internet tool that they can see. I'm trying not to give away any secrets, but they can see who's vulnerable, and they can see generally how much wealth a person has. So what they're looking for is they're looking for elderly people who are wealthy that may be vulnerable. That's the most horrible part about it. So I try to walk a fine line because there are a lot of things that I know behind the scenes that I don't want to tip off any scammers. In fact, I try to keep away from even, letting people know that it's, most of us are scam baiters in this community, so it's no secret that we use a fake computer. But scammers don't know that. Some scammers don't know that there even is such thing as a fake computer. So I try not to give them any ammunition of how to scam or what we're doing to try to bait them scam. I don't want them to know everything's fake. And this is a good point. There's some other scam baiters out there that are giving away all the secrets. And I want to get in touch with them and say, hey, maybe keep this on the down low about how you're doing this, because if the scammers catch on, then they know what to look for and we're less effective. That's one thing. If you're in the scam bait community, try to keep some of the things that are little tricks and tools, like, maybe the virtual machine is already out of the bag mostly, but try to keep things on the down low about the tricks and tools that we're using.
It always amazes me that they don't catch on. I would think that they would all know that there are virtual machines. Some of them, I think it's just they're just so greedy, or they take a chance. I don't know. I just would assume that they would all already know that. I mean, CJ just reversed a connection the other day and got their location and a picture of the person and their real name. And maybe it's because she was kind of flirty. But it's getting tougher, I think. I mean, people have to be more creative to get information from them.
They are getting aware of it, but and I thought that too was that
but the greed will always bring people down in the end. I believe greed will always be the conqueror of everyone.
I didn't know what a virtual machine was until I started actually looking into scam baiting. So a lot of these scammers that are new, they don't know. They're new to the scamming. They don't know a lot of anything really. So I'm trying to remember that when we're calling, is that I try not to assume that the scammers know. Some of them are, because they're watching all the scam baiters now, are catching on. But that's why we all have to start like teaming up and saying like, hey, maybe some of the tricks that we're using, don't tell them what we're doing. Because that's one of the things that has been on my mind lately. Is like, hey, these tricks and things aren't going to keep working if you're revealing how you're doing it. In fact, if you watch Scam Baiter, who's another person that I think needs, he's amazing. He doesn't tell people exactly how he's getting on their computers. He kind of keeps it a secret, and good for him, because then the scammers don't know what he's doing, and I think we got to start keeping things more of a secret.
Yeah, that sounds like
a lot of people make that case. Do you guys have an Instagram or MySpace or anything else you want us to post, or anything like that?
Well, we have our Twitter that you can follow us there, or our Discord. So anything that's more like
you know what
and stuff, we do
so,
that.
Again, I got to give Iron credit. He handles all this stuff because I have a different set of skills. What is our Twitter?
It's Twitter. It's at ScammerJammer74.
Awesome. And then what else do we have?
You have an account on Tinder and Grindr and Pornhub. You don't even know.
Yeah, our Discord's link, I don't know. That's off the top, like, because it's a weird thing. So that you'd have to go on one of our videos and can go in the description and follow us in there.
So what I will be doing is I'm going to be making a face page for Dorothy, and Dorothy will need some friends. What I'm going to try to do with the face page Dorothy is use it as a honeypot. I want to a little bit behind the scenes. The telephone scams, the email scams, and text message scams are the second biggest money loser behind romance scams. Romance scams, the last study that I read, who knows what the numbers are accurate, but according to the FTC, it's people who are on social media who are either buying products from fake companies and getting ripped off, which is nothing really I can do about that, or they're losing money in romance scams. And I've talked to victims in the past 2 years. I talked to a victim who lost $230,000 to an Instagram impersonator who pretended to be a country music singer who wanted to get away from his label. And this woman fell for it and sent over $200,000 to this, and then they deleted the Instagram. That's one. So then I talked to another victim who lost $60,000 to an oil rig scam. The guy said he owned an oil rig, but what they do is what's called love bombing. Is they'll meet someone who's lonely and vulnerable, shower them with, "Oh, you're so pretty. I'm gonna meet you. Come here. I just need you to send me $60,000 so I can get my oil rig working, and then we can meet up." And that's what I'm going to try to start doing is honeypotting some of these romance. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I will keep you updated because Dorothy's going to need friends on Facebook.
That sounds good.
We'll have some other social media platforms coming out soon. We'll keep you updated on our channel, Scammer Jammer, and on Discord, Scammer Jammer too.
Yeah. And you guys have a Patreon too? Can people support you?
Yeah. Gonna be soon. Patreon's coming up soon.
Cool.
But they could be members on your YouTube, right?
Yeah, you can become a member on YouTube, subscriber on Twitch. So if you wanted to support there, you can. So there are a couple of different ways if you wanted to.
I think Dan Greenballs wanted to know what your biggest, if I understood his question right, what's your biggest accomplishment so far with scam baiting?
Oh, I read that, and the reason I didn't bring that up is because I thought it was to the chat. But I mean, I would like to know they're in the chat.
Sorry, I can't think straight
that's
very
okay.
well today.
Nobody answered them anyway. So let's hear from Scammer Jammer. What's your biggest accomplishment with scam baiting so far? Would you say?
For me, it was shutting down that Publishers Clearinghouse scammer. So what happened was, I conference called the victim's name was Patricia. We conference called her bank with her on the line because the bank, I'm pretty skilled, but there's just some information that they can't give me. And I know that before I call them. So I conference called her bank with her and reviewed the transactions. They can only go back 3 months. Her particular bank would only review the account back 3 months without her physically being in the branch. So over the phone, we looked back 3 months, and in 3 months, they could see $73,000 had been in the account, and there was $40-something thousand actually still in the account. And I said, well, we know that this is all fraudulent from this Publishers Clearinghouse scammer. What I did was played a recording of the scammer to the banker with Patricia on the line. So the banker could hear this guy trying to scam money out of her and understood what was going on. And it was a nice young lady at Patricia's bank who understood. She said, this is all fraud. They froze over $40,000 immediately in the bank, and we're working on the other, what's the difference? What's a 30 minus 20, Frito? So, and then in total, there was over $100,000 that went through that bank. But freezing that money was my biggest accomplishment. Iron, what do you think?
For me personally, it was when I reverse connected to a scammer and was able to lurk in the background over a couple of days and view their phone system so I could call back any potential victim that was calling in and help save some of those. And then during that time, I would go in and out throughout the day. And one of them was remote connected to another person who was very close to logging into their bank. And that's when, instead of lurking, I said, you know what, we're going to go right on. So I was trying to call that person. They weren't answering because they were still on the phone with the scammer. And so
took over the computer and opened up Notepad and said, "Stop, hang up that phone right now. You're on the phone with a scammer," that type of stuff, and then got hold of that person. So was able to talk to them and let them know exactly what was going on. So there's that was probably one of the best things, because dealing with foiling their scams when it comes to potential victims. And the biggest thing too is, this was a Windows Defender email. So what they do is they send out that email that says, "Oh, your purchase for Windows Defender for a year subscription goes through is, I don't know, $2.99 or $3.99 or something like that." And the people I was talking to, they thought that was a real email. Like, they legitimately thought that was an email. Half of the people I talked to were like, "No, I'm not logging onto my computer. I'm not doing that. That doesn't make any sense." So they were smart there. Some people did allow them on the computer. I had helped them get AnyDesk off of their computer, because they were, now what scammers are doing is they're doing the allowing of them to be able to log on at any time. So we were trying to get them off, but the whole time they thought it was a real email, and I'm trying to tell them, no, it's a fake email. If you looked at where it was from, it was like some Gmail address. If it was really from Microsoft, it would say at Microsoft. So it was like trying to tell them that and let them know. But yeah, being able to help those people not fall victim to those scams, or at least verifying that they didn't fall, is always a good thing. And then also getting information off of their computer was another good thing. So we were able to kind of go back with some of other potential victims' phone numbers and contact info, try to get hold of them as well.
And that was amazing work, because also you were able to get the passwords to the, I don't know if I ever told you this, you were able to get passwords to the system, that their phone system. And I went in there and locked them out of as many accounts that I could. Ironically, someone mentioned the Beatles in the chat. They had one of their profiles set up as George Harrison. So I was able to shut that down. I couldn't shut down their whole account because the master account was locked, but I shut down a lot of their users, and that was great work. You got a whole list full of potential victims. I talked to a couple as well that we were able to let them know that they're scammers and not answer the phone. So that was a great job, Iron, on that one.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of info that we got off their computer. That was useful because it was right to that. And then there's somebody we may or may not be working with in that area where these calls originated, and we're kind of in the process of trying to find some more in-depth information that we were able to uncover by that, but that stuff we can't really disclose at the moment. So it's just good to see, able to get some of that stuff and see where we can go with it too.
Yeah, I mean, there's someone got into a phone system and changed the voice message.
I love when they do that.
As you say, that's not one of my skill sets, but we all bring something into the party. So good up on you if you can do that.
Yeah, that's not so hard to do, is my understanding. It just takes, I mean, any one of us can learn that. It's more common than you think. There's plenty of times I'm on the websites looking for scam numbers, and I call them, and probably once every couple days I call one of those numbers, and it says, "This number is being shut down because we're a bunch of filthy scammers." So it's people are doing it more, I think.
Yeah.
I love when they do that. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see, because again, everybody has their own unique capabilities, and if people can hack the systems like that and change their voicemails and hopefully reroute them so these scammers can't even get the incoming phone calls, it just goes right to voicemail or something, that's even better.
Yeah, it reminds me of remember that movie War Games with Matthew Broderick, and he was like, he could like break into well, obviously he broke into the Pentagon or whatever it was to play the war games, but in the beginning he was just messing around, and he could change his grade. He broke into the principal's security system and just changed his grade, or his attendance. That's what I'd be happy with. Talking about hacking into a phone system, though, I gotta take a computer course. think the last time I touched a computer was like a VIC 20 or Commodore 64 or something like that.
That's what I tell the scammers. I have a Commodore 64. Interesting game. The only way to win is not to play. Another funny thing is back in the day, all new cell phones came with the same default password.
000.
Yeah, or use most of the time, depending on your service provider, it was the last 4 digits of a phone number most of the time. And if nobody changed their password, you could change their voicemail and lock them out of their voicemail. Yeah,
I'm changing mine right now.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore because they probably caught on that a bunch of my friends had really messed up voicemails.
That's great.
Back when cell phones first came out. A lot of fun.
Yeah, well, a lot of it now too is visual voicemails, like on iPhone and Android. So, I mean, some of the call systems might still have that, though.
Yeah, it's certainly that's the so-called phone hacking scandal that we had a while back. It wasn't hacking; all they were doing is going into the voicemail and, as you say, just punching in combinations until they got in, and then they could just listen to the recordings, any voice messages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of clever people out there.
Oh yeah, and you always got to stay vigilant because unfortunately, you never know who's there and trying to take you, swindle you, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these guys do. I mean, there's another scam, and I know we're going to end it up soon, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. But like, there's another scam. I used to work for, a pretty big retail company, and obviously we had stores and we had managers. And one of the managers in one of the locations got an email from the CEO, and the CEO said, we'll just call her Dorothy. Hi, Dorothy. We're going to be doing a meeting in your store next week. Can you please expense? I need you to buy, $2,000 in gift cards and just report back to me the numbers, and then I'll pay you back when I get there. And she did it because it was a real CEO's number or name, and they had her real name. So she didn't think anything of it. And then, a week later, she learned she was scammed, and it really wasn't the CEO just, contacting a retail manager. But they're out there trying to learn as much as they can. It's sickening how much they will spend, how much time they will spend doing research just trying to scam innocent people. You would think that they could just get a job, but they would rather research people
too. Like the grandparents, they do so much research on a particular individual and try to mess with them by saying, "Oh, your grandkid is in the hospital, or your grandkid's in the tank and needs to be bailed out." And they do so much background information on, and it's absolutely crazy.
They tried that with my dad not long ago, and my dad said he's in jail. He deserves it. That's the end of that conversation.
One of the people who are on Shark Tank, their assistant fell for the same thing. Got an email that said, "Hey, this is whatever her name was. I need you to wire, $300,000 for this property." And they didn't look at the root of the email and just wired. In our local area, we had one of our government officials wired money, and if I guess what needs to happen is like more information about how to be tech savvy. In fact, ransomware is making a huge splash because it's exotic. Not compared to the money that is lost to these romance scams and phone scams, ransomware scams are very low on the list of money that is being lost. But because it's ransomware and it's exotic, it's not a lot of the times it's not people who are hacking computers. It's someone who opened an email and downloaded the ransomware. So if they're practicing better online security, hey, check where the email came from, and don't click on mysterious links. Don't give your password. These things wouldn't be happening. There just needs to be a lot better online education, really.
Mm-hmm. The one thing the one person I'm going to recommend, if you want to have more secrecy on your online identity and how to kind of separate yourself between some of these large companies like Google and Facebook and a few of the others, so they can't track you. But then also that information doesn't get lost and picked up by scammers and things like that. There's a great channel called Rob Braxman Tech, and he does a lot of things on how you can protect your internet privacy. So I do recommend checking him out, and he throws a lot of good information out there. Kind of opens your eyes to a lot of the things that some of these tech companies are doing. But then again, it turns into, if we're putting so much information onto the internet, it's only a matter of time before there's an exploit that's found, and somebody is going to have that information and could have been collecting that information for a while. So it's only a matter of time until you could get contacted by a scammer, by somebody who's pretending to be somebody who's not, with fraud, and there's a lot of things there. So it's just being aware too on those fronts what you should be doing to make sure you're safe, even on the internet, just in general.
Oh my God, they watch you. It's I typed in kangaroos not too long ago because I was doing some research for a couple prank phone calls. Next thing you know, I mean, I'll be on a different like a website, and I'm like even YouTube. It's like kangaroo videos are showing up now, and there's kangaroo posters that Amazon shows. I mean, it's sickening. I'm kangaroo crazy over here now. So I need to like put something else in my Google history or something. I don't know, but they're watching. You're absolutely right.
For sure, definitely. Yep, this social media is really dangerous. How much information they get about us from it.
Mm-hmm. And again,
Yeah,
it
they
only
used to
opens
be.
the door for how these new scams are coming, like the grandparent scam. And it's only a matter of time before they come up with a new idea that can work, basing on college kids or mid age or wherever, and then that can be their target. So it could be a potential for a lot. It's just a matter of keeping yourself private there, and that's going to help prevent people from getting information on you. I mean, obviously, some information is always going to be there due to certain things, but other than that, yeah, it's a matter of just trying to be private as much as you can, and it helps so much in the long run.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and it used to be the Facebook scam was just a simple thing where, everybody goes on Facebook because they want to show the world what they're eating or how much money they have, and they're on vacation. And then the scammer can look and say, okay, well, this family's going on vacation and their name is this. But now it's a lot more obviously detailed. It's more tech savvy. Where before it was just kind of looking and getting information, and I think people are onto that. Like, don't post too much stuff. Although some people still do. They need to show the world what kind of car they have and that they're successful now. But there's also a lot more people that are aware, I think, that won't go on Facebook right away and saying, I will be on vacation for the next 10 days. My house will be vacant, because people can see that and then rob their house. But now it's more tech savvy than it was, say, 12, 15 years ago.
Oh yeah,
well, it's just moved, hasn't it? I mean, back in the day, it was the emails, the 419 scammers. They've moved on to WhatsApp now rather than email or text.
Mm-hmm.
So technology moves on, but the scams, they're basically the same. They just evolve.
Yeah, it's all the same though. We always can say, oh, who the hell would fall for that? And then people do, and that's why it's like it's such a. I love watching Pleasant Green, or I think Hoax Hotel has a couple of videos where it's just email scams because the people are so stupid. I mean the scammers, but people do fall for it. Whether it's an apartment and they want your social security and security before they even meet you. I mean it's sickening how much is out there. But there's a lot of email scams that people fall for.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's true.
absolutely. And
Again, I was in the unfortunate position to have to talk to victims of all of the different type of scams. And I've said before, but people are new to the stream, that was not my job. My job was not to talk to victims or be in any kind of fraud department. It was a side effect of these scammers where, I was in an industry where I dealt with banking, and I would get calls all day long. It started about 2.5 years ago. It was PayPal. And I would get a phone call. And unfortunately, the person would tell me that they were locked out of their PayPal account, and the person said that they needed to get Google Play cards. And I thought, well, I didn't understand what was going on at first. And then I've told the story before. Ironically, Iron, I was over Iron's house one day, and he said, "Hey, you got to check out this guy on the internet, Kid Boga. So you'll really like him." So I start watching Kid Boga, and then I'm like, "Hey, I have to deal with some of these victims." And once I found this whole scam baiting industry, it got worse and worse, especially over the past couple years. But I've talked to so many different victims. I thought everybody knew about the Nigerian prince scam where, the Nigerian prince is leaving you millions of dollars, but people fall for this. Well, I got an email and he said, all I have to do is send $500 to get this clearance from the government, and then I needed $2,000 to get another document from the government, and they're falling for this prince left him millions of dollars. Like, I guess I thought everybody knew the same thing I did, but people don't. They fall for these multiple scams.
Yep.
Very unfortunate. But how can we, in a larger scale, start like educating people about all these? There's got to be a better way. I mean, YouTube's great, but we got to start reaching more people somehow.
Yeah, well, that's what I always say.
Dedicated spam channel.
Right. They need to, it's a serious thing. There needs to be commercials on TV. There needs to be ads in the paper. It really needs to, it's a multi-billion dollar industry for the scammers. And we're spending very little on that. And, I'm disabled, so I got to call the Social Security people once in a while, the legit Social Security. And while you're on hold, they do say be aware that there's people personating us out there. But that's it. I mean, for somebody that doesn't ever call, if they get a call from somebody and they say we're from the Social Security Department, they may believe it. And obviously, we know the statistics. They do believe it because otherwise the call centers wouldn't exist. So they are falling for it. But we need to get to those people before they would have to call Social Security. Is I guess my point. There needs to be more ads on Amazon. When you sign into Amazon, it's we will never ask to hook up to your phone or care if you have an Apple or an Android phone. We will never have you do an online cancellation form. There's definitely ways. We're just not. They just don't care enough, I guess, at this point. I don't know. I mean, they're still all making money anyway. AT&T, Amazon, all these large companies. Their customers, their consumers are losing money, and they don't seem to either be aware or care, and it's sickening.
Well, two things. Just turning around trying to talk to a scammer. One scammer did say the same thing that you said. I said, well, what can we do to get you scammers to stop scamming? He said the same thing. There needs to be commercials on TV or even the local news. If every local news across the country did even a 2-minute segment, it probably would need 5 minutes to cover all the scams. And it was in the paper, and it was like a public service announcement. The scammer said that. And the other thing is, I don't think companies like Amazon and PayPal used to be the big one. There's so many other ways that those companies are getting ripped off too that you don't see behind the scenes with, all of them are taking huge losses, and they don't want that bad attention, but it's not bad enough to where they're doing something about it. You're exactly right. They're not, they don't want people to be victims, but it's not a huge dent to where they're getting enough bad publicity to actually do something about it. You would think if you're Amazon or PayPal, you wouldn't want someone in an overseas country to be impersonating you. I'm exactly with you. We have much more effort needs to be made, and the service providers. People don't realize this, but if you're in a foreign country, I can't use my cell phone to call India. So why are these service providers allowing these call centers to have North American phone numbers or Australian phone numbers or European phone numbers? And they got to do a way better job of verifying who their customer is and shutting them down immediately when they're a bad actor. That's who I blame, is the service providers, for sure. Nobody's really making a big deal out of them, but it starts with the service providers. Just don't allow them to have phone numbers.
Yeah, I mean that would be too easy, right? I mean, we report numbers all the time to the Envoy, different carriers. They don't do enough. I mean,
you should see the emails that I get from them that say, this is not the right department. You need to contact, this email is only for, this. And like, well, other social media, if you report a post or something, it's immediately suspended until they review it. And if it's bad, they take it down. And I am telling these service providers, you need to have a much better system. Like, this is ridiculous. You're not shutting these phone numbers down. We're reporting it. Just, suspend them at least until you investigate. But that's who I blame. If they can't get access to our phone systems, they can't run their scams.
Right.
Agree. And hopefully that's in the future. But I mean, I think the beginning of the year they passed a law about robocalls. I still get them all day long. I mean, and spoof numbers. They were supposed to do something with that, and it was supposed to go onto Sprint's. They were going to be guilty, or AT&T. They weren't supposed to allow that, but they all do. And there's always ways around.
This is something, because I'm a huge dork and I try to learn everything that I can about everything. What they're implementing is called stirred shaken, and it basically says that you have to have, if you're a terminating service provider, you're connecting phone calls, you have to have a token that identifies where that phone call came from. And the large service providers do. AT&T, Verizon, they are not providing these scam call centers with phone numbers. I can assure you that the service providers that are, we're all used to here in the United States, they're not the ones who are giving these scam call centers the phone numbers. But the problem is, there's two problems. One, these networks are very old, and some of them are still relying on copper wiring, which can't carry these tokens to identify where the call originated from. And two, this stir-shaken law gives some of these smaller providers that have under a certain amount of customers a little bit more time before they implement these call originating. But this stir-shaken system is only to trace the call back to where it came from. They're still trying to work on like a network level way to block these phone calls. They're still 15 years behind, in my opinion, of where they need to be. They need to be, there just needs to be a really easy system. I mark this phone number, the phone number gets suspended until they investigate it. Like, hey, this person pretended to be Social Security. They just need to update everything, which eventually is coming and hopefully will shut down the scammer party. But, they're doing, I've also wondered, like, why, you're right, why does some of these providers, what I'm being told is, oh, we're just a bridge. We're like the bridge. We connect one call from here. They got to do a lot better, but they're working on it, apparently.
Yeah, but then there's the international dimension, as you alluded to. It's the same thing here in the UK. The technology is there. It's just the infrastructure isn't.
Right.
I mean, we can put a car on Mars, but you can't tell me who spoofed a number. What the hell's going on in this world?
That's exactly what I write to these service providers that are giving me a hard time. So about 5 or 6 months ago, I called one service provider And I couldn't get anyone on the line. I finally got someone who I'd have to find this recording. I do have a recording of it. They said, 911, what is your emergency? And I said, I thought I'm calling a service provider I'm trying to report this number as a scam call center. Oh, this is only for law enforcement. I said, well, you answered the phone, 911, what is your emergency? Did I call a police department? Like, well, no, this is the emergency line for service providers. Like, yeah, but you made it sound like if someone was hurt or injured, you're going to send, officer to my house. They literally, which I can't believe that if any legitimate law enforcement agency, if they have to, if they knew that these people, the service provider was impersonating a 911 call center. So then I said, well, first of all, this is ridiculous. I can't believe you're even answering the phone this way. You're not law enforcement. It should be, probably impersonating an officer. But secondly, when I tried to argue with them, like, hey, this is a phone number that is a known call center. It's a social security scam. Can you shut it down? They gave me the most ridiculous hard time. Well, we can't do that because of their privacy and this and that. Like, they're not in the United States. Same laws don't cover them in India, first of all. And there's just got to be a better way. So I think there needs to be some kind of, everybody knows that the powers that be are not doing things about this. That's what needs to happen. And sure enough, if the powers that be start actually doing more, this will stop.
I mean, Dangly Balls had a similar sort of issue recently. He tried to he did contact a bank and alert them that an account was being used for money laundering. And the call handler said pretty much, sorry, I can't speak to you. I can't take any details. Through persistence and the power of Twitter and knowing where to hit, the chief operating officer of the fintech bank has reached out to Dan and said, yeah, we got it wrong. Come and speak to us. Tell us what we need to do to make it better. So it does happen on occasion. So it's not all doom and gloom.
Well, I've said this before. In fact, if anyone is in contact with Pierogi, tell him to get a hold of me, because I was watching one of his streams where he was trying to get a hold of a bank, trying to report someone who was a victim of the bank. And I have a particular set of skills I can really help. I actually wish I could have got a hold of him to help him because they can listen, but they can't give you any information back. They cannot talk to you if you're a third party.
Yeah.
But you also kind of have to have a little bit of skill and know how to talk to a person at a bank, which I do. And I remember I was watching Pierogi live, and he was trying to talk to someone at the bank, and like 3 different tellers hung up on him. And then he finally got someone who would actually listen, but he couldn't get anywhere with them because, one, he doesn't know what to say to them, but also he kind of doesn't understand that the bank has to protect all of our privacy, and they can't tell anything, and that protects all of us. But I have a particular set of skills, so my advice to anyone who's listening, if you do need to report something to the bank, the first thing you want to say to whoever answers is say, look, I know you can't tell me anything. Here's the information I have. Please take this down and try to do your best to prevent this. Again, I know you can't say yes or no, but try to do your best to say, I understand you can't tell me anything. Here's what I know. Please try to help. And you probably get farther, but anybody, you have to understand, bankers, they really can't tell you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
usually
pretty...
hang up. I mean, I've called them before, and I'm trying to say it's a scam, and they're like, who told you? What happened? And I'm like, you're worse than the scammers. And I hang up.
Yes, with Patricia, for example, I called 12 different banks because Patricia had a list of 12 different victims, and you're right, and I'm a professional at this behind the scenes, about 4 of them hung up on me and wouldn't cooperate with me. That's just banks. It's a bunch of I don't want to mention any bank names, but there were some banks out there that were great. They helped, they prevented their victims, but 4 of those banks, they just those people must have been having a bad day or didn't know what was going on, and they hung up on me, and I'm a professional.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is, they won't speak to you or deal with it because they say, "Who's the victim?" We're not, so we're calling in to provide them information. But as far
That's
as
the
they're
issue
concerned,
I have when I talk to law enforcement. The biggest problem with law enforcement is, well, you have to prove that someone is the victim. And I always said to them, well, isn't attempted robbery or attempted stealing, isn't that a crime? But they're looking for someone who actually lost money, and I've conference called law enforcement with victims on the line, and all they do is just take a report so that the customer has a police report to take to their bank and try to get their money back. That's all they do. So
Yep.
there's a huge gap, and that's how these scams keep happening.
yeah. Something that I've noticed here recently is a lot more awareness on the bank's parts, utilities, and I think it's the same in other parts of the world. That they're putting warnings. So if I, for example, go into my online banking, it's more prominent now. Beware, and there's so many more checks, but it still happens. We can't help everyone.
Right. I read a horrible article where I think one of the victims was like 88 years old, and the scammers ended up getting over $600,000 because
Wow.
she went to her bank and wire transferred $200,000 at a time to a bank in Thailand. That's where they
Yeah.
and finally on like the third wire transfer that she tried to do at her one branch, they blocked it, but they didn't put any flag on her account or didn't do something right to where she went to a different branch and did another $200,000. And that's right. It's most banks are really good. But some banks, they just aren't trained properly or don't know.
Yeah.
That's how it keeps happening.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all
Well,
so much for joining us. Sorry we took up so much of your time. You done missed your premiere of your video.
Well, it's not a premiere today, so it's okay. But after this ends, we'll have to direct everybody over there.
Yeah, we definitely will. We'll put a link up. We'll put a link up so we can all go there.
This is my pleasure. I could talk about. There's a lot more to unpack. I could talk about this all day for months at a time. It's been my pleasure.
Well, yeah, we really appreciate it. I mean, it's our 20th stream, and we've only been doing this for 2 months, and to have you guys on 2 times in that time is a big deal to us. So we really appreciate you taking time out to hang out with the little guys and spread some awareness. And hopefully we can do something for you and get your new video to 1,000 views today, and get you to 3,000 subs. Or at least get you 1 sub, because I think everyone else is already subbed to you. But yeah, we do what we can for you. I mean, you guys are our friends, and we definitely appreciate it.
Maybe y'all can come back for our 50th episode.
And the what?
I said maybe they can come back for our 50th episode.
Yeah, hopefully way before then, maybe the 30th. I mean,
Keep us posted. We'll come on. We don't mind at all. It's always a good time.
It's my pleasure. 100%.
You guys are down to earth, and you're cool, and you're so. I mean, so much knowledge in the scamming world, and I love the way you guys talk and you teach us all. So keep entertaining us, please.
Dorothy, love a wig.
Thank you very much. That's my natural hair.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Just imagine a Golden Girls episode with, let's say, Dorothy and Vivian
And my character, sometimes I call her Susie. And, a couple of the other baiters out there that play the old women, just imagine something like that as a
Yep.
lab.
That'd be
That would
awesome.
be
Iron, can you give us a little bit of George Pica before we sign off? Did you end it with some
Like
George
call a
Pica?
nurse. Yeah, I'm envisioning that. But yeah, give us a sneak preview. What do you got?
well, I got to tell you, if you have in New York, there's this great place down in the Bronx. You got to stop there. It's this deli. It's Joe's Deli. You got to go there because I'm going to tell you, you've never had a meatball sub until you've gone to Joe's Deli because it is amazing. All you got to do is just tell him, I want the George Pica special, and he'll make you twee meatballs on one sub with extra sauce and extra cheese. Tell him George Pica sent you. The turd. Make sure it's a turd. If you tell him the senior, he's gonna be thrown off.
I like your southern accent too that you do, Iron.
Which one?
This the southern one.
Wait, which one? Like the ritzy style or like the real draw?
The southern draw.
Hold on. It's actually kind of fun to try to switch. Sometimes you're in like a New York mode, and then it's like, okay, hold on, I gotta go down. I gotta get down there to the south, and I could start talking like that. Today I went down to the Poughkeepsie's, Alabama down there, and I was trying to get myself one of them fancy iPhones, but for some reason it wasn't really it wasn't fancy enough for me. So I went back and I just got my little Metro PCS phone there and my little flip phone.
DJ, you feeling homesick now?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I sound like them, but I love the accent.
Hey, he mentioned my hometown too.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you if it's Alabama or Poughkeepsie, but it's somewhere in there.
I think everyone knows. You've said it 100 times.
Yeah.
And can I order extra bread with that sub?
Oh, yeah, you know you want that. Just don't get the flatbread because that stuff that doesn't hold the meatballs the way it should. You want to make sure you get the nice thick bread that they got in the back. Tell them you want the bread in the back. They know exactly what you're talking about.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining us. We're going to listen to Take's video again, and then we're all going to come over to your channel and watch your video.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. Everybody in chat hanging out and watching and listening. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out. Obviously, if you ever want to get hold of us for anything, Discord is a great option. Our email, scammerjammer74@gmail.com. And like I said, Twitter. But more email or Discord is the best way to get hold of us.
Yeah, and also they stream on Twitch as well, so make sure you sub on Twitch. If you haven't gotten Twitch yet, you might as well get it because there's a lot of really good scam baiters on there streaming. And make sure you follow Scammer Jammer on Twitch. Sorry, y'all. I know my voice doesn't sound very good, but I'm trying.
Yeah, we normally would mess with some criminals at this part of the morning, and the chat's usually lit. Today, I think we're both under the weather. You guys have been on a long time. I know that there's people in the chat that are asking for us to do phone calls together. I apologize to everyone. It just won't be today, I think. Hopefully you'll come back and we can mess with some criminals and have some fun.
Yeah,
This is a really great opportunity for me. I'm very long-winded. I talk a lot about there's a lot to unpack, but it was a great opportunity. So I'm happy to come back anytime.
No, well, thank you. Yeah, both of us together. I mean, that's a hurricane if you want to talk about wind. You and I together, we could do this all day.
We sure could. I could do this all day.
Well, thank y'all so much. I love talking to y'all. You're great guys and great baiters, so just keep up the fight. I know some days it's hard, but...
Oh, some would say I'm a master at it. But CJ, I hope that this...
It's a family show, guys.
It's really, I hope that this whatever's going on, just get well real soon.
Thank you.
Keep us updated. You're going to be just fine, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Love you guys.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yep. Have a good rest of your day, and thank you, everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna go watch your video in a minute.
Yep, we'll be there in a minute. All right, bye.
Round of applause, everyone.
Yep, thank you.
I cannot be the only one who started this. Like, if you need to mail a letter to somebody, why don't you put their address as a return address? Don't put a stamp on the envelope. If something's wrong with it, it's going to get mailed back to the return address, right? Brilliant. What the hell do I know? What am I talking about here? Anyway, it's the Morning Scam Show with CJ Scams and TAGOW. Wake up, each and every one. Here we go. Let's mess with some criminals. Jesus Christ, enough of this nonsense. Let's get into it.
Go ahead, please. Are we really doing this again? Did you not learn from last week? You cannot block us. Why do you pick up the phone and don't say anything? I could just reset it and call you right back. And back, and back, and back. Go ahead, please. I guess that's the end of that conversation.
Thank you for calling support. How can I help you today?
Hey, I was wondering, I woke up this morning and there's a gang of woodpeckers out there just looking at me. Can we do anything about these guys?
Sorry?
I woke up a little while ago and I look out my window and there's about 100 woodpeckers. Like, they're like a gang of woodpeckers. They're these awful, perverted woodpeckers and they just keep looking at me. I'm afraid to even get outside under the covers. Can you help me?
What do you want? What you want?
Like, I want you guys to come to my apartment and like get a scaffold or a ladder or something and just clear out these woodpeckers. They're perverted birds, sir. I'm shy and these birds are just keep looking at me. They're lurking. Do I have the right number? Can you help me? Sir? Fuck you. Tried to be nice.
Thank you for calling. How may I help you today?
Hey, forget about the $100. Can I borrow $50? You mind? Like, do you have $50 you can send me? Go ahead,
Yes,
please.
Definitely we can send you. So may I know, like, what is the problem, sir? Tell me what is the problem.
I want $50 from you if you have it. I could use it. I want green money, American money, not rupees, American money. Can you send it to New York for me, please?
Yes, sir. Then I will.
I'll even tell you how to do it for free. Don't put a stamp on the envelope. Put my address as the return address. Then put it in the mailbox. The mailman says, oh, there's no stamp on it. He'll send it to the return address, which is my address. Do you follow me?
Thank you for calling support. This is Davis Brown. How can I assist you?
Listen, I got a complaint here. I ordered about, 3 dozen Georgia peaches, but why when they ship them to me does the box say they're from Dayton, Ohio? Dayton doesn't make peaches. There's hackers in Dayton. Those are the people that hack into your computer and order iPhones and stuff like that. I want my Georgia peaches, goddammit. Can you help me? They go good with the wine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We can
help
help
please.
you.
Go ahead.
Can you tell
Thank
me
you.
your first and last name? Can you tell
Yeah, my name's Dean Michael Myers. Dean Michael Myers. I used to take a glass of water every day, but then I upgraded to I found Thunderbird wine. Do you ever hear that? It's like the cheapest wine, and I buy it, and I sit on the bench, and I like to pet the ducks. But then I saw a movie, and the guy was eating peaches and wine, and I thought maybe they go good together, kind of like lamb and tuna fish. And so I ordered on Amazon 3 dozen Georgia peaches, and when they shipped me the crate, it had big letters along the side that said, made in Dayton, Ohio. I know what happens in Dayton, Ohio. There's criminals there. Those are the people that you see on the internet that always hack into people's computer. I always see the Amazon calls. Like when Amazon calls and tries to hook up to your computer and take all your money, they always say there's hackers on your computer from Dayton, Ohio. I don't need this in my life, sir. All I want is my peaches, goddammit. Go ahead, please.
Okay, sir. Don't worry about that. Your order will be shipped by tomorrow. But for that, first we need to verify you. And can you tell me who calls you from Amazon and said that you need to and you made purchase a iPhone 12?
There's some robocalls out there. We got to talk about that too. I didn't order an iPhone. I ordered Georgia peaches, but I already got those peaches, but they had Dayton, Ohio written in big letters on the side of the box. Why would they do that, sir? If they want to scam me, they need to be more crafty. I mean, cross it out and write Georgia on the side or something. I want Georgia peaches. They're supposed to be the best. I want to suck on those peaches when I drink my wine. Go ahead, please.
Okay, sir. What we can do, sir, we can verify you that you are the legit holder of your Amazon account, and I promise you, sir, you will get your peaches, your Georgia peaches by tomorrow, okay? By tomorrow morning. But for that,
you can ship
you
them to
need
me that
help
fast?
me so that I can verify your yes, because we need
Thank
to
you.
verify the document of our.
Thank you.
So can you tell
Yep.
me Can you tell me which smartphone you are using right now?
Oh, no, that's exactly what the criminals in India do. They want to hook up to your phone and steal your money. It shouldn't matter to you what phone I use. Nobody at Amazon would ever ask that question. You can't even read me the first 2 sentences of the handbook. You're a fucking criminal. Oh, my God. I thought I was calling Amazon. I'm calling a criminal in India, somebody who hurts innocent people for their living. How dare you, sir?
Sir.
You're a scumbag.
Sir, we don't
Yes.
scam people, okay? We don't
Yes,
scam.
you do. Not today you don't, because you're getting flooded, bitch.
Sir,
We're calling you again and
you
again
called
and
us.
again with nonsense about goats and rupees and chuthias and peaches. You're a fucking idiot for being on the phone with me this long. There you go.
Go decide, Lisa. What can I help you?
Oh my God, are you a criminal? Like, you carry a gun? Do people do they fear you?
No, I'm sorry.
Are you like the top criminal
No.
out over there? Oh, okay. You're very scary sounding to me. Scare me.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the PayPal Secure Services. What can I help you?
Well, because I know you're not PayPal and you're pretending to be PayPal and you're a criminal, I thought maybe you carry a gun and people know not to mess with you.
Sir, well, your call has been landed to the PayPal customer services. If you have any query, you can let me know. Otherwise, you understand you have other customers which we need to attend.
No, I understand that. You have other victims. You don't work for PayPal. I have the handbook right here. You couldn't read me the first sentence of the handbook. So I know you're a criminal. It's okay. I'm just...
Thank you for calling in support. My name is Kevin. How may I help you today?
Kevin, are you a criminal? You carry a gun? Do you drive a dark rickshaw
No,
with
sir.
tinted windows? You're a criminal. You
No.
stole all that lady's money. We were watching you. I'm scared. Are you going to shoot me?
Who took
The people that
money?
pretend to work at PayPal, in your little call center there. They're
Sir,
not really
sir,
PayPal
I'm-
employees.
Sir, exactly. Please mind your language. Who took money?
Well, I didn't say anything bad, so I don't know what you mean, mind my language. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you're a criminal. You don't work for this company. You're a criminal.
Thank you for calling support. My name is Sean. How can I help you?
Sean, you're different. I got a lot of Kevins and Michaels today, but no Seans. That's a good name. Are you a criminal? Do you carry a gun? Or a bayonet? Or nunchucks?
Yeah, I carry
do you
a
have...
gun which I'm gonna put in your ass. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
put
you
that
won't.
gun in your ass and
The problem
blow
is you're
your
not a
ass.
good criminal. You're not a
You
good
son of a
criminal.
bitch.
You'll never make it to America. You're too poor. You're not even a good criminal.
Yeah.
How many times have I gotten
I'll
through?
blow
Little
your
old
ass
me.
in the air with that gun. You son of
I
a
get
bitch.
through to you all day long. You're so mad. You shouldn't be this mad. Oh, you're still there?
For calling support, you're talking with James. How may I help you?
James, you sound like you're upset. Are you getting flooded with nonsense? When's the last time you had a victim? A real victim?
No, well, you seem to be upset.
No, I'm good. I mean, I know we're wasting your time, so I'm
You're
happy.
not good.
I'm happier than a Gandu with a bag of dicks right now. I don't know. I'm happier than a Gandu with a bunch of goats. I'm happy.
You're not hurting anybody today.
Thank you for calling support. My name is Alice. How may I help you?
Hey, Alice, I'm trying to get a read on things. What was life like for you before you started scamming people? Like, were you in the brothel? Were you like a popular,
Do you
like
think I'm
Rundy?
going to answer you this fucking question, you asshole?
I mean, you're scamming people. Why wouldn't you? Go ahead, please.
Thank you for calling.
Messing with criminals in the morning is always fun. Hey, we got Scammer Jammer today stopping by. Let's get into it. Let's just mess with a few more criminals and then we will talk with Scammer Jammer. It's been a while since they've been here. Let's see what these guys are up to. Always a pleasure to talk with these guys. Let's check them out. You're tuned in to the Morning Scam Show.
Hello, are you still here?
Oh shit! I had you in my pocket. I thought you hung up on me. I got a little Indian guy in my pocket chirping, creeping me out. What do you want now? What do you want now? You ready to tell me some truth? You ready to tell me the facts? Go ahead, please. I'm not fucking around here. Tell me what you do and why you do it. Let's start with that.
Thanks for calling Amazon. How may I help you today?
Hey, I don't know what happened. We just got disconnected. This is Dean Michael Myers. I'm calling again from Nashville, North Dakota. Can somebody help me? Isn't this Amazon?
Yeah, it is Amazon customer support. How can I help you today?
Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on in the town of Nashville, North Dakota. There must be like a chocolate factory or something. I saw like at least 50 midgets today. I mean, I don't want to discriminate, but it's kind of freaking me out. Like, I don't know, there's either a chocolate factory or a porno convention or something's going on in this town of Nashville, North Dakota. Can you look into your computer and see what's going on?
What happened exactly, sir? Can you just explain me a bit what kind of the problem you are facing?
Oh, yes, sir. I was at Martha's drugstore. I was just picking up my daily medication because I run out of it. I'm only supposed to take one pill because I'm kind of, the doctor says I have some kind of mental illness. So I'm supposed to only take one pill a day, but I take about 30 a day. And only 30 come in a bottle. So then I got to go back to the Martha's drugstore and get another 30. And I was in the drugstore, and I got bum rushed by like 50 little people. Now, you can say what you want about little people or midgets. They don't like to be called midgets, though. But if they catch you, they will fuck up your shin, you know? Can you imagine 50 people just kicking your shin? And they got legs of steel, those little guys. I don't know what's going on. So then I went off to the pizza place. I figured it's noon. I'll get a piece of pizza. I had to wait for about 3 hours. This guy wants to serve every single midget that walks in. They all want to eat pizza.
Sir,
Are you following me?
Which company you are looking for? Which company?
Your company. I need you to help me. You're smart, right? You need to help me. Get rid of some of these people. There's too many people in this town. I don't care. So, all right, there's 50 midgets, right? That equals 25 regular-sized people. Too many people in this little town, sir.
I would like to know which company you are looking for.
Looking for you, sir. Yes, you can help me, right? You can come with like a... You know what? If you come here with like a great big, like a fire hose, you might be able to scare some of these people off. I mean, I don't know. We might need them, though. If they open a chocolate factory, who's going to work at the chocolate factory? I'm calling you. Are you listening to me? Are you writing this stuff down? I need your help. How come you're not writing stuff down? Do you have a piece of pen and paper?
Whom you are looking for? Whom you are looking for?
I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. You're the real culprit.
Which number you dialed?
I'm dialing your number. Yes, Dean. This is Dean Michael Myers. Dean Michael Myers from Nashville, North Dakota, I think I said. Yes. Can you help me move some of these people out? There's way too many people in this town. It's a very small town, sir. We don't need a chocolate factory, and we definitely don't need 50 midgets in this town. Help me, please. Are you there?
Thank you for calling Auto Parts. My name is Shirley. How can I help you?
Hey, Shelley. Listen, what's your measurements? What are your measurements?
What's your measurement?
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please.
There, you're getting better. Go ahead, please.
There you go, madam. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead,
I'm a
please.
filthy Rundy. I'm a filthy Rundy.
I'm not talking to Randy. I'm talking to Randy.
I steal from innocent people.
I still run of people.
You're better than a bird. Can I buy you? I could
You
probably
better than a
buy you
bird.
with what's in my
Can I buy
pocket.
you?
I was going to buy cigarettes,
I
but
will
fuck
buy you.
this. I'll buy a Rundy.
What the fuck this?
You sound like a parrot.
Hey, you, Randy.
Say, give me gift cards. Give me gift cards. Give me gift cards.
Get me get cards. Get me get cards.
Oh. You got spunk, Rundy. I'll give you that. Yep.
You spunk, Randy. Oh.
Do you want to be in a porno? I guess not.
We're back. It's the Morning Scam Show with CJ Scams and TAGOW. We got Scammer Jammer with us today. Let's go. Good morning, each and everyone. It's the Morning Scam Show. Scammer Jammer in the house.